Shout out to the AKs that continuously support the channel. I know it's been a little bit of a minute, not too long, but I had a lot of things that I had to sew up before the football season, so excuse my absence once again. But definitely got everything done that I was supposed to get done, just to get you guys up to speed and up to date, so you know where I was and why I was MIA. I built the enclosure for my dogs because I decided to keep two of the pups. I got rid of 8 out of 10, finally. But two of them I was keeping, and I already had their parents. So I said I had to make room for four dogs. So I built an enclosure so that I can leave town when I got to come to Dallas and I got other things to do. I need to be able to leave them somewhere. And my wife, she can't deal with them dogs by herself. So spent my time building that myself. I'll show you the aftermath, but it came out pretty good, if I must say so myself. Beyond that, I have a bar that's opening up September 13th called The Payback. Some of you guys who follow me on Twitter saw that. But had to, make sure things are prepared for that. There's a lot that's going on with that. We've been doing like soft openings every weekend to make sure we're prepared for that as well. So there's just been a lot going on that I couldn't just come and sit down. I've been trying to, but it's like nope, couldn't do it. And then my daughter's birthdays are in the same month as well, same days apart, they're 1 day apart. So August 2nd and August 3rd. So I was in the Catskill Mountains for that too. So had a lot of fun, but now it's time to get back to work, man. Can y'all hear me okay just before I start, running my mouth? Because y'all know how I do. I got a lot to talk about. All right, your Agent 9, what's good? Big Flock, what's good, man? Lead Commander. I like Lead Commander. He always up in here, man. I've been watching Sonny Styles struggle trying to get past running backs in the pass rush drills, though. Sonny Styles better get it together. You supposed to blow a running back up, man. A Lab, yeah, the bars in Philly. So if y'all see a lot of the Eagles memorabilia in the bar, it hurts my heart. But it's my family's bar. All of us, are in on this joint. So I can't put Cowboys memorabilia in there all crazy. If it was, number one, we're not gonna make no money. Number two, they might burn the bitch down. So I was like, I can't even put, it's not a cowboy bar. It's gotta be Philadelphia themed because we're in Philly. So, that part just made good business sense. But anyway, we will be up in the building though during game day, wreaking havoc and trolling. I'm going to troll because I don't care if I'm in a room full of the ops. I'm gonna still act my part, play my part, and do what I'm supposed to do. So it is what it is. But give us some good energy because the bar will be opening up, real soon. We've been doing pretty good on the soft openings on Fridays and Saturdays thus far. But September 11th is the big kickoff that weekend. We're gonna do some major things, man. Um, he said, "I'm telling you, somebody better humble Ezraku to focus on football, like starting veteran DN. He too important next to Gary not to produce." Oh man, we gonna get into that. Yeah, we gonna get into that. My dog's upstairs snapping. I want to shut them up real quick. I don't know who they snapping at. If they keep going, I might jump up just to go. Yeah, I will. Gotta go tell them to shut up real quick. Let me get right back to you. 1 second, y'all. henceforth why I needed to build an enclosure in the first place. Because my dog just jumped over the enclosure. She stood on one of the houses. She pinned behind the enclosure right now, so I'm gonna let her sit her dumb ass back there for a little bit because she keep climbing up there. So I'm gonna just leave her back there for a second. But she pinned between the enclosure and the fence. It's like a walkway. It's like, she not pinned. She got enough room to move around, but she just can't get out from back there. But I'm gonna leave her back there for a little bit. He said, Sonny is not trying to sandblast his teammate. He's saving it for the Cowboys week 2. I mean, okay, if that's what you want to say. I mean, I understand, but I feel you. He said loving the D back play, concerned about the green dot linebacker. Overshawn looks iffy. Yeah, Overshawn do look a little weird, but we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. All right, let's see what we talking about. All right, I mean, y'all gave some good shout outs. I appreciate that. I'm about to jump right into it. But the reason for this video obviously is not just because I've been going for a minute, but the other thing is I've been just watching. I sit back after I lay it down, I lay down the foundation on what I'm talking about. And I just sit back and watch all the content creators and the media and everybody alike talk. And I'm noticing a crazy trend, which, I mean, it makes sense. I understand why, right? But it makes no common sense. You know what I mean? Because it lets you know that there's a lot of confirmation bias going on. And I can't say that I haven't been guilty of wanting my take to be true as well, but I'm not going to try to tilt reality to make it so. You know what I'm saying? And I think I see a lot of that in regards to certain things getting ignored, certain players being ignored, certain names not even coming up when it comes to recaps, or when you see people that you think have the credibility, that have more credibility than myself, right? People that are close to the team say things that align with what's been said in the off season. People kind of ignore that too. They act like they don't even hear it, and I'm like, that's something. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at today. That's what I've been seeing. I've been seeing the patterns and the themes keep reemerging. You know what I mean? So from that standpoint, we're gonna dig in and we're gonna watch a little bit of the things that I've been experiencing, so you can see Twitter through my eyes. Some of the things that I've been experiencing, not only in the Twitterverse, but just overall in training camp. Man, it's been pretty good. But let's dig in, man. Let me see if there's any more shout outs in there that I can jump on. No, sir. No, ma'am. It's on. Shout out to Sadiqa Charles. I saw you called me a little bit ago. You called me, but I think I was on vacation when you called me. So my apologies for not answering too. What's up, P Dub? That's my man Paul. What's up, man? Um, let's dig right in though, and we'll go from there. But I'm gonna put this up, and then we'll go into the rhymes and reasons. But I'll just start by saying this. Let's go player for player first when it comes to, our let's say level for level, because there's multiple players on every level that I want to talk about. I'm going to stay on the defensive side of the ball because offensively, we've been seeing a lot of the highlights offensively online, and they're tilted in the offense's favor because even if you get a sack or you blow a play up, the play still continues. So we'll still see, hey, the coverage keep going and so on. And if you eliminated the plays where, if the whistle was blown when there's a sack, even though he's not actually allowed to hit anybody, how bad the defense would be beating the offense up would be ridiculous. It would be kind of crazy. A lot of people put that on Still or Guyton, but I've been watching everybody all up and down the line get beat. And I'm talking about our all pros, our Wonder Boy and Booker, BB, all those guys, from the interior to the exterior, everyone's being beat. There are some concerns opposite Gary. I think, Ezra Rocco, Malachi Lawrence need to pick it up, but everybody's been beaten up on that offensive line. And the reason I'm not starting with the offense, as I said before, you'll see those plays go on, and then Pickens will still catch a touchdown, or CD Lamb will catch whatever it may be. So I don't need to really accentuate what the offense is doing because they got the red shirt and everything's good there. But so we'll start with defensive line, right? Or should I work my way to the front? I think I'll work my way to the front. Why not? Let's start with secondary. Bland, not only has Stephen Jones came out and just said, Bland is starter. We're going to come in and watch that too. But Bland's the starter. But Bland has been kind of quiet due to the fact that I don't think he's getting as many reps. I think they're trying to, either spare him or whatever. But he's been kind of quiet. He's made some plays, but he's not the most consistent DB that I see in the highlights, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, usually when you don't see a wide receiver, it's bad because that means they're not getting the ball. But when you don't see a corner, it's good because that means the ball ain't being thrown his way. So that means he's in good coverage most of the time. So I'm not even mad that he's not, making the splash plays. They're throwing the ball mainly at, Durant and Revel. A lot of Revel when they see him out there because they want to pick on him. A lot of Caleb Downs when they see him out there because they want to pick on him as well. And I think the secondary, to most people's surprise, has held up very well. I think the secondary is playing great. Kobe Durant's doing what I thought he would do, being a game ready, you know, opportunistic corner. He's made some plays. He made a hell of an interception week one of training camp that was just headsy because he was in man coverage. He knew from the timing of the route that he was on, hey, it's time to you're trying to turn this in the zone and just go look for the ball because there's no way Dak can keep, holding this ball. He turns around and he looks, cuts off CD Lamb and picks that ball off and I don't know if he was going to take it to the house, but definitely got a good return on it. That is the Durant that I saw on film, and that seems to be the Durant that we're going to get this season. So with Kobe Durant, I think it's what I expected. I'm not sure what most of you thought of him coming in, but I thought that he was that type of player, just a very headsy playmaker type corner. Can he cover too? Yeah, of course. But he's twitchy, smart, and I think he's more smart than physically gifted. You know what I'm saying? He is fast. He's talented. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a slouch in that way. Not like a veteran that's slow and just using his mind like Ty Law late in his career. I mean, like, he's a good athlete, but it's not, he's not Patrick Surtain. He's a headsy Peanut Tillman type of corner. You know what I mean? Twitchy. I wouldn't even say Peanut because Peanut's bigger and a little, not as twitchy as he is, but a playmaker nonetheless. I like what I saw out of Kobe Durant in camp so far. We're going to go into that into the film as well. Um, Also, Revel. Now, Revel's been tested a lot. He is very handsy. I do see that he's gotten a couple PIs, but everybody who's saying, "Oh, he's handsy," some of those PIs are like they're calling him so that he's very careful in the real season not to do certain things. But some of those plays are so close, so bang bang on those PIs that they could be no calls, never know. But you want him to play it as safe as possible so that he doesn't get those calls in crucial situations throughout the season. So I'm not mad that they're calling those penalties on him, but it's not like he's a penalty magnet. He's not like tackling guys because he's getting whooped. He just didn't get his head turned around on one. And then on another one, I don't even think it was a PI. He had like two or three that I looked at, but some of them not even PIs in my opinion. However, what I will say about the offense, he had two interceptions that should have been interceptions that GP just took out of his hands. And I know he want those back because it was great coverage on both plays. Their fade routes in the end zone, both sides of the end zone, and he lost both reps because GP just has a way of making tough, tight coverage look like nothing. I love that about him. He's comfortable in traffic, and Rebels and his battle has been very fun to watch throughout this offseason. I won't even front on that. Um, Still in the secondary. PJ Locke, he got a little injury in the first week, so you didn't get a good chance to see him, but you're starting to see him now. He's got an interception, I think, yesterday or the day before. But you're starting to see him a little bit more. He wears number one. You're starting to see him kind of emerge on the film. And as the pads come on, you're going to see a lot more PJ Locke because he's more of a hitter than he is a cover guy. He will smack you, even though he has the range to get to the ball and find the ball. But he's not a ball hawk type of safety. He's a smack you type of safety. So the things that I see out of PJ Locke, I expect, I want to see him in the frame, in the vicinity when the ball is caught. I know he's not going to smack those guys because he can't. But if he's there, if he's a step or two away from the ball, when I say away from the ball, I don't mean like behind, like trailing. I mean like if he put some acceleration into it, would he have been able to dislodge that ball or make a timely tackle? And he's there a lot for those plays. So that's the thing you guys got to keep in mind when it comes to training camp. People will look at a big run and they'll realize like, okay, like especially when we didn't have the pads on, I'll see Gary hit Blue at the line, but he just touched him with one hand. If they're playing two hand touch, rough touch, if he doesn't get two hands on, he's going to keep running. Either way, the running back's supposed to keep running, right? So Gary gets his hands on it. They're like, big run by Blue. I'm like, he would have got blown up. if this was tackled to the ground. He would have got killed right there. But you're seeing a lot of that happen. And that's what this video is about. It's like there's not ignorance from the coaching staff. I think the coaching staff knows exactly what I'm saying, because they're the one telling them not to, obviously you're not allowed to hit anybody. But I think a lot of the fans who are making stuff up about certain things that they want still, they're ignoring the things that are actually happening, are making it seem like we're more we should be more concerned than we should be at this point. And I'm not here to tell you how to feel. I'm just saying, look at what's there, and you tell me, where you see a lot of this happening. And I haven't seen it. This is a different training camp, in my opinion. But I haven't seen this entire offensive line from interior to exterior in any training camp just get their asses whipped. They're getting whipped. You know what I mean? Quentin Williams is giving Tyler Smith everything he can ask for, and it's multiple reps. It's not like, I used to see Mozzie beat Smith on certain reps. They'll ignore that. They'll just show when Smith destroys Mozzie, but they wouldn't show Mozzie doing anything back, which was crazy to me. But when you look at now, oh man, um, Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark and Agbania, Bullard, those guys are just manning up the interior, like I said they would. But they're killing it in there, and it shows on film immediately. Rashawn Gary is in a league of his own when it comes to him setting the edge or being an edge guy from pass rush to run stopping, and it's not a joke. You can really see it, and it jumps off the page for you. Because I don't know how many sacks he has right now, but there's a lot that, and we're 2 weeks in. I don't know how many practices they've had, but he's in the sevens. There's like at least 6 to 7, maybe more sacks. I think he's in double digits, you know what I mean? But I haven't seen all of them. I'm talking about the ones that I can count. I can count like 6 or 7 of them that I've watched, but I'm not seeing every rep because obviously every rep isn't on film. But it's crazy that he's getting that much traction in the backfield. And a lot of these plays aren't just, hey, he could have slapped Dak maybe. I'm talking about like if this was a real game, Dak might have been in the hospital on a couple of these, man. And that's saying something. Opposite him, now they give you, you know, they give you a lot of blowback about it because they say, oh, it's against Steele or it's against Guyton. I don't see Malachi Lawrence or Ezeraku or Marist. Everybody should be able to take their turn on Steele if Steele's that trash, right? He's not getting whooped by everybody. Now they're winning their fair share of reps. I've seen Malachi Lawrence beat him, for a sack or two. I've seen Ezeraku look like he's doing something every once in the blue, but for the most part, Guyton has blocked everybody pretty well, except Gary. Obviously, he blocked Gary pretty well on some reps too. I'm not gonna say he never won, but and still I've seen Still win some reps, both against Gary and everybody else, right? But consistently winning, Gary's consistently winning up and down the line. You know what I mean? I've seen him beat Booker on a stunt. I've seen him beat Tyler Smith on a run fit. Everybody says, oh, Hunter Lipke ran into his back. Why? Because he was clogging the gap. Hunter Lipke, it's supposed to be a gap there for Hunter Lipke to run through. He ran right into a wall because Tyler Smith got stood up first. That's why someone ran right into his back. And then he got thrown, and then Blue got thrown. That's what you call blowing a play up. So where that now that he ran into his back, they're like, oh, he ran into his back. That's the only reason he beat Tyler. No, man. They and that's what I keep saying. You keep trying to take something away from Gary when he's winning, and that makes me smile because it lets me know that it's more than just ball that y'all concerned with when it comes to Gary. And I never understand stuff like that. Y'all making me Gary's attorney because I keep seeing, like, if you wanted a guy, forget his name, to come in here, be a leader, be a consummate pro, be a beast, be big, be strong, be here, participate, dominate and be a veteran leader. I mean, what else could you say if we were playing the time to kill, right? And you just took all of Gary's accolades, everything that he's done here thus far, even his training camp here thus far, and you said, okay, it's Max Crosby or somebody that they wanted here, you know what I mean? They would be talking about it. Just imagine if Max Crosby punched out they were talking about Max Crosby doing suicides. They was like, look at the effort on these suicides. He's running up and down the field in the Raiders practice. They like, look at those suicides. They went out of their way to talk about the suicides that Max Crosby was running and the effort on those suicides that he was running. on the Raiders. They haven't seen one sack, but they like, look at those suicides. But Gary get a sack, a bunch of sacks with no pads, but they're like, it's no pads on. Then he gets a forced fumble with no pads. They're like, all right, well, there's no pads on, you know. Yeah, Maffa got to hold the ball better. Then they hear Schottenheimer come out and say, well, actually, we didn't really say much to Maffa because when we looked at it, you know, he did everything right. He had his hands where everything was where it's supposed to be. Gary just made a hell of a play. Then it's like, look at the recovery from Caleb Downs. They didn't say shit about the forced fumble. They look at that. Look at how alert Caleb Downs is on the fumble recovery. I'm like, yo, that's a little crazy. That's hard to do. Like, you got to go out of your way. I say this all the time. You can't avoid something that you can't see. So if you avoid saying something, that means you know it's there. If I avoid stepping on something, that means I can see it. So if I avoid talking about somebody, that means I know what they're doing. And it's funny at this point. It's like, and y'all got to start holding these guys accountable. Start asking, like, why y'all not talking about, you know, what? You ain't see that? It'll be like, you'll see a sack. They'll be like, great throw by Dak, but they'll be like, but I won't say everybody. I gotta say, shout out to John Machota because he killing it. Shout out to, you know, the Dallas Cowboys.com peoples over there, like Tommy Yarish, he's killing it over there. Patrick Nosey's been covering everything very well, very honest. So I'm not saying everybody's fake news, but you know, it's some of them out there. I'm like, yo, why you ain't say nothing about that, bro? What you doing? You know what I mean? And that's a little crazy to me. That's just me. Maybe I'm tripping. I'm not, but I'm watching. You know what I mean? And it's funny to me. Matter of fact, I should share this on Twitter real quick because I didn't. Let me share this real quick for y'all, or somebody share. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it myself. Hold on a second, because this is a little funny to me, man. I'm like, dang, y'all not playing no games. I mean, when they don't like somebody, they don't like them. Hold on. All right, let me go to lives. Boom. All right, we on. Let me put the thumbnail up here. Boom, boom, and copy that. All right, we good. Go to Twitter real quick. Put this up. Tune in, people. All right, yeah, I got it on Twitter, so we straight. We straight. Let me take this off here real quick. I think we straight with everything. Boom. All right. Y'all know I can't see worth a damn. I can. My eyes actually getting better. I don't even know how. All right. But here we go. All right, I'm back in the studio. All right, here we go. He said, "Why Gary Pancake the best right left guard in football?" Of course, yeah, I seen that. But anyway, so listen. So getting into it, like I've been watching, you know, people just blatantly ignore certain things. So we're gonna go all the way into the film. We're gonna dig in and start looking at a lot of the film recap from Twitter world. But I've been sitting back quiet, man. People been calling me like, "Yo, you ain't see that?" I see everything. I'm just watching because it's laughable at this point how much we go out of our way to try to confirm or try to get the things that we want rather than what actually is. And if all you wanted was a good pass rush, you got it. If all you wanted was productivity out of any edge, it doesn't matter who it is, you got it. But to ignore it because it's not coming from a jersey number or a player that you would prefer is a little ridiculous. I see that. Like I said, I saw y'all remember the first week, everybody like Max Crosby running laps. Look at him running those laps. It's good to see the leader, you know what I'm saying, ahead of everybody. Gary's been the first to every rep while here. He's the first to do any rep that's there. He's been here all off season. You know what I mean? Every player in the locker room loves the guy. You know what I mean? He's on the leadership council. Shotty loves him. The media seems to be coming around now, like John Machota and those guys. They didn't know in their, you know, to their defense, they didn't know who, you know, like, oh, maybe the Packers fans are right. We don't know. We gave him a fair shot. And they see him now, they're like, oh, hold up. John Machota just said, I don't even want to hear no more about it. Like, no, he's a good player. He's a beast. Tier 1 by himself. You know what I mean? That's what he said. And then, you know, obviously No C's kind of said some of the same things. But you'll hear it. It's just very strange. It's like I see a lot of plays being made, but you know, and you'll see him because I got him out here. But it's even more than that, obviously. But you know, it's just funny that nobody's really putting a finger on it, so to speak. When you see another thing that we discussed, which people also act like they don't see, is linebackers. Right now, Stephen Jones did come out and say, "Hey, you know, it's not really one of those incumbents. There's somebody that we just know he's the guy. Everybody's kind of competing there. People are competing opposite Bland as well. The corners are those are the two positions of concern for him. Why didn't Stephen Jones say that defensive end is a concern for him? Because he wanted productivity out of the edge room, and he's getting it through Gary and the assembly opposite him, right? So I don't think he thinks that's a problem, and neither does the coaching staff. I don't think Christian Parker thinks it's a problem. I don't think Brian Schottenheimer thinks they have a problem because they're watching this stuff, right? So the fans still having one, while at the same time not trusting the people who are closest to these players is a little strange. It's strange. The media who's there up close watching these practices are saying it. The coaches are saying it. The other players on the team are saying it. But the content creators and fans who don't like the guy still ignore it. That's what we talking about. You know what I mean? That's a little weird. I like it though. I like it because it gives me something to come out and say, I like to be the myth buster. You know what I mean? But let's get into the film and let's talk about it. All right, and what I was saying with the linebacker segment a second ago, linebackers have been blowing Dak up all camp. Barham has been running through the gap. I said linebackers run free behind Marcus Dixon fronts. Everybody came on and said, well, you're running Fangio's front. This is not Marcus Dixon's front. This is Fangio's front. All right, shut up, man. Well, according to so and so, Fangio, they're gonna do. Shut the fuck up, okay? Because watch what happens. Linebackers are running free. I've seen D Winters got at least 4 sacks just running right at Dak. Dak still throws the ball, but because he's supposed to. But if this was real live football, Dak would be in a body bag. Week 2. You know what I'm saying? Or one game, you can just look at the snaps. Dak would have been in a body bag. Barham's been back there, but D Winters has been getting like straight beeline runs right at Dak, right at the running backs, everybody running free. You even saw Demarion Overshawn run free in the backfield, blow Hunter Lipke up. Everybody was like, "Oh, he did that wrong." I don't think so. I mean, his job was to turn the ball back inside, or go hit the ball. He took the outside blocker so that the ball automatically cuts back into his help instead of going after the ball, missing, and then that bounces outside and it's a big play. He did what he's supposed to do. He blew Hunter Lipke the hell up, though. You know what I'm saying? But let's just watch. And then as we watch, I'm going to go back through the comments and kind of talk about some of it. But let's just watch, man, because I know I ain't tripping. I know I ain't tripping, man. Let's watch this, man, from the rip. Let me see where I need to pause. So right here, what we on? So right now I'm looking at, let me see what makes this play first. Boom. That's another one. So this one here, right? Rashawn Gary back to his normal self. Look to the left, right? He gonna get chipped by Ferg, and then he's gonna blow still up. Boom, chip by Ferg, blow still up in Dak's lap. That's probably a bang bang. I don't know if it wouldn't have been a sack, but it would have been a pressure on that play. But good play there by Gary. You see Land here. Although this isn't Guyton that he's beating, but Isaiah Land I've always liked since he came here the first time. There's a good inside move here. This would have been an easy sack. That's a sack right there, or at least that quarterback. Howell is not going to be standing there, but that was a sack. But I watched the effort here by Land. Land, watch the end of this play. Boom. Off this interception. Watch where Land ends up. So the interception, almost interceptions there. Boom. Ball hits the ground. By the time that ball hits the ground, you're going to see, oh, no, I didn't get it. But Land ends up in that shot a second later. So he ran all the way up the field after getting the sack. I saw that from Gary, too, on a screen pass. I thought that was pretty dope. Here, boom, that was a rub. This was amazing. Like Caleb Downs is doing things that people don't give a lot of credit to. But when I say they don't give a lot of credit, I mean they're giving him his shine. But when you look at how difficult this is for a guy who's not a corner, and let's not forget, we had a lot of people from 105.3, a lot of fans, everybody saying, I'm still concerned with him playing nickel because he didn't get any snaps at the slot. He did get snaps in the slot, but I said he did, but nobody believe that either. But does he look uncomfortable to you? Look at this. This is a rub right there. So he knocks knees with who's that? Florinel, yeah, Flo. I think that's Flo. Yeah, no, that's GP. He knocks knees with GP. So it gets tripped, recovers, get in CD's chest and breaks that up. Only thing he didn't do was turn around, but he was there at the right time and he touched the ball first, so still no call, which is good. But that was a perfect rep from a young rookie who you're not supposed to be doing shit like that as a rookie, man. Or even if you were a corner, but he's a safety doing that, which is even crazier. Let's see what we got going on here. That's Quentin and Gary and Kenny all destroying the run. Like I said, they would look from Quentin over to your left. Gary's kind of out of shot, but I'm gonna pause it right after the snap, and you'll see how that line collapses from boom. All right, boom. Look at that. So Kenny is already upfield. He's already splitting the double. Quentin, look at Quentin standing up Tyler Smith on a double team, and I think somebody's defensive hold. I think that's Kenny that's holding Booker because you see Booker trying to get to the second level. Booker can't get to the second level because he got held up there, and then on the left side you see Gary stand up still, and those guys just all converge on the ball. Ball goes nowhere. Beautiful. The defense just kept winning, kept winning. Look at that. The whole left side of their line got caved in. Look at this. Boom. There's another. That's that same play again. Hold on a second. Watch this. Watch this. And snap. Kenny's already in there. Quentin and Kenny are running a twist. So Quentin is trying to twist or stunt off of Kenny's penetration right there. Gary is just taking still for a ride. Just look at that. Boom. Boom. Dak's letting this ball go. So it would have been a pressure. He wouldn't have got sacked on this play. But you see how they just caved that side of the line in. That was excellent work right there. Boom. Another good run fit by everybody there. This is Maris just coming down and making it. Maris, man, I saw him on a bag drill, sled drill. I was listening to the sleds, right? Shout out to Lando. Lando posted it. But I was listening to the sleds, and Maris, when he hit the sled, it sounded like somebody's back would have snapped. Like Maris is freakish strong because he the smallest guy in that room, but the strongest. I would say him and Gary are the strongest in that room, hands down. When you listen to just listen to the viciousness of the sled game when we get to that part of this film, man. It's about 20 minutes long, so we're gonna have some time to talk. But it's crazy. Let's watch this here. Boom. Shout out to Patrick Nosky for the slow mo replays too. These are dope. Boom. That's another. I would say if it's not a sack, look at Ezra Rocco getting lifted up in the air. Look at Ezra Rocco in the air, man. As he gotta get it together, man. He gotta get it together. He gotta get it together. What happened to him? Let me see. What happened to you, bro? Why you in the air like that? That's a bad joke. That's a bad joke. Let's see. Ezra Rocco, what we doing, baby? Tries to stunt, jumps, leaves his feet. He left his feet and never touched the ground again. He looked like he's somebody's chick in Rikers, but he never touched the ground again. Come on, Ezzy. And let's see what happened on the pass rush opposite side of Ezraku. That was a good rush by Gary too. Look, this is Gary and Kenny Clark. Kenny is taking a double team. Gary's one on one with Steele. He takes outside. He starts outside. He's gonna do a hump move right there. Yeah, that's a hump right there. Boom. Throws him inside. He pretty much threw Steele right into Dak's lap. I don't know if that ball would have got off, but it would have been pretty close. I won't give him a sack for that, but I'll give him a pressure. You know what I mean? Because we don't know. He says, everyone here Eagles fans. Well, I ain't got no likes. Come on, man. Get the likes up if y'all on here. Make sure y'all don't, disrespect what we do here, but you gotta hit that like button if you want me to keep doing these. Cause that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to be liked. I need y'all validation. Y'all know how I go. Let me see if y'all can give some likes though. Hold on a second. Let me see. Ads are off. Let me turn the ads on. Don't you want to do that? Turn the money on. Got to turn the money on. Hold on. Boom. Done. Save. All right. Go back. And let's see what y'all doing with the likes. Can't really see it. Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. I got 80 likes. That's not so bad, but give me above 100. I got us to 81 just now. I just liked it myself. Come on. All right, it's 140 of y'all in here. It's about 50% on the like tip. So you know what I mean. Wake up and let's hit that like button. All right, cool, cool. Let's keep playing. And we early in this, Joe. It's a lot of film to watch, man. Boom. I for those who are like down on Guyton and Steele, I thought that Guyton and Steele, other than Rashawn Gary, they've been blocking everybody pretty well. Look at Ezra getting yoked up right there. Gary, does he get in on this one? I don't know. Let's see. Let's watch Gary. Gary is not in the view. He on the opposite side of the field. He getting chipped again by. Oh no, he's not getting chipped. That was just Steele. But he gets in. But so does Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams are in there. Boom. Yeah, they're in there. Boom. That's that same play again. Oh no, that's a different play. Let's see. Uh, Chip. Ew, Ogbo even making moves out there. Everybody converges on the quarterback on that one. Shout out to Julius Woods, this big game James Young boy, man. He out there making plays too. Appreciate him. This is the player everybody talking about. Gary, right here. Boom. He stands him up. There's no fullback in his back yet. He stood up. The reason he stood up is because he can't move Gary. He's supposed to be moving Gary out of this gap so that he can run right where you see Bland standing. That gap is right behind in front of him. You would be able to see the gap. That's where Hunter Lipke's trying to get. He can't get there. Why? Because Gary stood Tyler Smith up. Tyler Smith is now on the ground trying to hold him, and then he throws Blue about 5 feet backwards too. Gary just got a different temperament, man. I'm loving the leverage. I'm loving the way he's playing, and to me, it's just a difference in the way he approaches the game. I'm liking him. I'm liking him. Let me see if you guys can hear this. Let me make sure I can hear it first and foremost, because maybe I didn't put the sound on because I don't do that sometimes. I'll be messing up, man. Let's see. All right. Can you guys hear that? I can't. Let me see if the volume is up. Maybe I didn't record it properly. No audio. Yep, no audio still. I swore I recorded the audio here. That was genius, Darius. Yep, I must have turned the audio off on that one. Sorry about that. But just to sum it all up, I told you guys earlier, Stephen Jones said that he's mostly concerned with linebacker and corner, not really anything else. Um, when you see, the replays, you'll see the reason why. It's like obvious, but right here, Ezzy, I think beats, kind of beats him on a stunt. He beats Guyton on a stunt here. He kind of slashes inside, so this little inside move, boom, that was good from downs. Boom. So this one here is like a stunt inside. Good inside move from Ezra right there. Quentin Williams is winning against BB outside. Kenny Clark is standing guys up. And then I think that's Gary coming down now. And this is a touchdown in the back of the end zone. I think Ezra would have made a sack on this play though, or would have chased Dak into oblivion. So I don't really give him credit for that one. Sam Williams' knees don't really look right. He's having trouble stopping and starting, in my opinion, and planting. But right here, I liked what Akbania does here because this would have been another pressure or at least a QB hit by Akbania. Just watch 91 on this play here. Watch this. Boom. Gone. He beat Bass pretty fast. Gone. And it ends up an incomplete pass. Boom. This one, I hope I got the sound. I didn't get the sound on this, man. I had to get the sound. I remember that. Watch it. Boom. But you see the intensity still. This is the drill I was talking about. Everybody on. Like they were doing pretty good. I saw Gary, like when I watched Gary's. Watch this. It's just like consummate pro. He look like he do this all the time. And he does because this is him and BT Jordan. Him and BT work together a lot. But let's watch this one again. Beautiful. I mean, obviously it's a sled, but still, swim quick like nothing, like karate. Sensei. Yes. Uh, Let's see. Let's Slam hesitated on that. He's saying you look a little ginger. You gotta get a little more explosive. Sam, boom. Uh, Houston looking okay. Us. Who that? Wheat. Wheat looking strong. Sturdy old head. Boom. Malachi. That was pretty strong, but a little clunky. Watch it. Did you see that? Did you see that? Watch this. God damn. He would have snapped somebody back with that, man. That's crazy. Like Marist is strong as shit, man. Strong as shit. Like that is crazy. And they telling him, "Hey, we need one hand." He like, "All right, I'll do it next time with one hand, coach." But God, here
it's a tough drill though. Maris, wow, violent boy.
Listen to that.
That's a tough drill though. Maris, wow, violent boy.
God damn. I like what Kobe Durant's giving me, man. That's what I was saying earlier before we got into the film. Is he the greatest cover guy? He's good, but his ball hawkiness and playmaker ability is what you're really looking at when you talk about him, right? Right there, that's another one. Like when I say hospital, like these are sacks that'll put Dak in the hospital. Look at this. Look at Gary on the other side.
Wow, violent boy.
Look at that. Boom, Gary over there now on this play. Next play coming up right here. Watch this. Look at this. Dead. Dak been dead for about 2 seconds. Dead, 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 dead. He was dead on that play. Boom. Dead. Look at that. 53 running free. Linebackers definitely been running free all camp. Watch 53. He said, nah, no pass rush there. Look at that. Smack. Boom. Dead. Let's watch another one. This is one that like blew my mind. All this talk I've been hearing from the Packers camp, right? And what they've been talking about, all season, especially Terrence Parsons. Shout out to Terrence Parsons, who be hating. You a hater, Terrence. I like you, man, because you double down on your hate. You know what I'm saying? Like the international haters ball. You know what I'm saying? You one of them. But check it out. There's no way you wasn't hating, because how the hell you don't got no smoke for Van Ness? He showed Gary do a bull rush against Steele, which would have still ended up in a sack on one drill, right? Or at least a pressure on that drill. And he put that up there, start talking. Why you ain't put this up yet? Why you ain't put this up there yet? Why you ain't put that up? What is this? What is this? What are you talking about, bro? And he needed water after that. Look at that. He's like, I'm thirsty. I need a drink. He got the ball. He got a water girl and shit. Like, I need a drink. He passed that water off like he did some work. You know what I mean? He was the weakest one on this line. They whole pass rush. They in trouble. Michael Parsons better hurry up and come back. He's still worried about the Cowboys. He like, I'm coming back for the Cowboys game. Look at this pass rush. Dookie. This is Dookie. You know what I'm saying? Do. This is probably these guys are the best too. 91. He first off, he jumping off sides on a drill. You know what I mean? But 91, he did all right. I thought he was pretty strong and sturdy. That would have been a sack fumble, probably. You know what I'm saying? And then 51, whoever this is right here. I don't know who 51 is. But 51 is going to do okay as well. This is an okay rush here. Boom, up and under. That was okay. You know what I mean? But Jesus Christ. Here go Caleb Downs doing what Caleb Downs does again. You know what I mean? I think it's been a pretty solid camp for Caleb Downs, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? I think that anybody who's still looking as if he can't play the slot and and safety, is wrong. Caleb Downs is playing as good as any corner or nickel in the league right now when it comes to the guys that he has to guard, play in, play out, and the type of offense that he's up against. For him to be holding his own and making noise the way he is, Caleb Downs is doing this thing. But this here is Josh Butler, my guy. Butler, I've always liked, man. This is a pretty good play for him. Scandling can't get away from him. He right on his hip. Shut that down like it wasn't about nothing. You know what I mean? I like Josh. Let's see if this Caleb again. No, this is probably Gary for boom. That's a Gary sack right there. They say he don't got no pass rush moves. All he do is a bull rush, right? What's that? Why they say he ain't got no moves? I don't know. The good bend. He whooping. They act like he whooping still ass with the same move or still is not doing a good job. Like who the hell is going to stop a six? That's another hospital right there. That's a sack fumble in a hospital for Dak. But who's stopping the guy that's 6'5", 280? And people don't remember. Like not only look at that Shamar James running free as well, but not only is he 280, but he's 280 that has to shrink down to 280. He's really Quentin. He's bigger than Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark. Like they're probably fatter than he is if they were like just letting themselves go. But he's a guy that's walking around probably 315, 320, and they have to shrink him down to get him to 280. He's 280 on a diet. You know what I mean? He's not 280. I gotta bulk up. Like even to put this in perspective, Osa was 285, but Osa's 6'2", 285 coming up from being a wrestler who had to balloon up. So Osa's 285, but he has to eat probably like 6,000 calories a day to even get up that high. He probably has to eat to get that big because Osa's not naturally that big. He's really supposed to be. After football, like Mark Slarick, you'll see he's kind of like down to like 220. After football, you might see Osa walking around 240, 250, maybe 260 because he's not that big, really. When you look at Quentin next to Gary, he's huge. You know what I'm saying? When you look at guys like Aaron Donald, for instance, Aaron Donald has to bulk up. Like he has to eat to get to 275, 280. He's not a super big dude. You know what I mean? He's 6'1", incredible Hulk looking, strong motherfucker, but he's not that big. Gary has to really get himself down. He said I counted to like 7 to 8 1,000, and the ball was still in Dak's hand. Right there, you saw Shamar James get into that gap real quick. He wouldn't have got there though. But boom, this is another one. Like I said, Rebel's been covering very well, but those just kept happening to him. This was the one time I saw Steele lose to Malachi, and it was fast. And that was Malachi probably listening, like, hey, take that inside move, set up outside, take that inside step fast. And he beat him there. And still Rebel gets his rep back right there. You know what I mean? He gets his lick back. But that was a good rep by Malachi Lawrence on that play. He did pretty good. I don't know if I put the audio on for this one either, but this is John Machota when he was talking to the guys. Maybe I did. Yeah, I gotta get a new DJ, man. Your boy Koye don't know how to be
like
no
Rashawn
DJ.
Gary.
Oh, here we go.
Linebacker, like tier system. Rashawn Gary is by himself on tier 1. Like Rashawn Gary, motor, everything, pass rush moves, the whole deal. I'm really not that interested anymore on like how Packers fans were ready to get rid of him. Like he's a good player.
Just a little bitter.
Now
Gary,
they're gonna turn it into hustle. Hustle is kind of like a backhanded compliment because they're trying to make it seem like he's getting his sacks. Or John Machota's only talking about him because of hustle. He's not talking about the hustle.
He's always been hustle guy since Michigan.
Man, like some of these cracks out here, some of the stuff he's hustling. I just didn't think like he's hustling like just the hustle. Like you'd see a guy trying to make the team hustle. That you're just like, that's pretty impressive.
Flournoy said he's a dog conversation. He, on his interview, he was like, he's the one who you don't want to get into.
Oh, he said Quentin just resigned.
You know what he reminds me of? Or, like you hear of these players where they'll be like, man, I hated going through walkthrough against that guy because he'd come out there and he's going 100%. We're just trying to do a walkthrough. That's Rashawn Gary for sure.
John, I noticed that without pads. Yeah. When they were doing stuff, I said, "Damn, he's playing like he has pads." He was whooping Terrence Steele's ass.
You know what? Good. Toughen Terrence ass up. Toughen his ass up. Good.
I said, "Cuzzo, you got to act like you got pads on because he whooping your ass right now. He embarrassing you."
I'm telling you, my favorite play was the one a couple days ago, the screen to Jaden Blue. You got Tyler Smith out front. And don't get me wrong, this play is going for 20+ yards, and it did, But I'm just saying the hustle of Rashawn Gary to start on the outside, like a speed rush, and then beat like Tyler Guyton on the inside,
35
get to Dak.
Like that.
Dak just gets the ball out in time, and then he's just booking down the field. You can just watch him like on the line of where my video was at. You just see 7 just turn around from Dak and just start running as fast as he can for 20 yards. So not everybody does that. That's why I'm pointing that out. So he would be your clear one. And then on that.
Look at D. Winters right there, running free to the ball. But when you pay attention, not just, let me turn this sound off for you real quick. Not just D. Winters, watch where you see Overshawn as well. By the time that ball is in Blue's hand right there, Winters is there in front of him, watch to his right. There go Overshawn right there. Linebackers do what behind this line? They run fucking free. We're going to talk about that deal in a second. I got to look into it now that because I'm live when I'm hearing the news. So we're going to give it to you live and raw and uncut. Here's another one. Let's watch D. Winters on this rep. Linebackers do what in this defense? Exactly. Run free. Look at 53 right there in the middle of the field. Boom. Dak is dead. He stops and breaks down because he's supposed to. That ball is still in Dak's hand. Dead man. He gets it out the CD. The rest is like null and void. Watch this. Dak is what? Dead. Dead man. They're not even talking about it. Like the sacks, the amount of sacks that they would have right now. Gary got like 7 that I counted, 8 that I counted. And then his camp that's there, the guys that I speak to, his team, like, he got like 13 if you really want to count them. But I'm not there. I don't see those on film. But I only say what I can prove, and I could prove like 7 of them. You know what I'm saying? And then you got guys like Quinnen and Kenny that's gotten in as well. You got Malachi. I've seen him get like 2. Ezra Rockwell, I've seen him get a couple. Then you see guys like D. Winters got more than everybody not named Gary, because Winters got like 4 straight up to gizzard, just like this, and plus a couple of tackles for loss. And then Barham, who keeps getting hurt. Barham, without the injuries, I saw Barham in one day do like 3 of these, where he beat Booker. I mean, he beat Smith on a stunt by itself. You know what I mean? Then he beats he runs straight through the gap and blows up another running play. He blows up another pass play. Like he's just been winning. And then he ran free a couple of times, like you see Winters here as well. So, and that's a guy that's been hurt. He keeps getting groin injuries, a little nagging injuries where he's not even in practice every day. But if he was, he'd have even more. So how can the pass rush be such a concern when you see stuff like this happening? You know what I'm saying? Boom. That would have been he would have got blown up on that play though. Hands down. This is Marist here doing what Marist does. If Marist don't make this team, I would be pretty pissed off, because I think Marist is going to be one of those guys like that, comes on in preseason. You're going to see him in preseason. Him playing with backups in preseason, he going to shine. That's one of my takes that bold takes, I guess. Watch Marist dominate in preseason, even from outside linebacker. And I don't mean just sacks. I mean just making plays and doing, crazy shit. They said we got roughly $15 million in cap freed up due to Quinnen Williams signing. Boom. That was Agbania, just blew this up, already over with. Watch Agbo. Boom. Agbo has taken Bass into the backfield. Boom. Oh, no, that's BB. He's taking it. No, that's Booker. He's lifting Booker up. Who was taking back? Who took that's Kenny that took BB into the backfield. Look at this. Look at Kenny and Agbo. They're in the interior. They're two of the 3 interior linemen right here. Boom. So Quinnen is back there getting double teamed, right? He's cool. You see in the A gap, you see Kenny Clark has already taken BB into the A, and the ball ain't even into who's that? Blue's hands yet. Or Anaconda. I don't know who that is. Abanaconda. Then look at Agbo. He's already look. Have you ever seen anybody do this to Booker? I've seen Booker beat the shit out of Jalen Carter for an entire game. Like beat the shit out of him. I've never seen anybody take Booker. He has Booker choked up with one hand while waiting for the ball to get to him. Like he's in position, already got in the gap, dominated the gap, and is choking the shit out of Booker like the Undertaker. Breaks this up with his offhand, and then there go Gary doing what Gary doing the other side. Like Gary already smacked his guy up too. So watch Gary too. I didn't even know Gary was in on this play. Gary's coming down the line. He's already won as well. What did I say? I said you can't block Nobody. Like right now, if you stopped, who is successfully blocked other than I don't even know who that is. Other than Ezzy, who's kind of setting the edge, but he's out. He's being blocked, and Quinnen, who's being like triple teamed. You know what I'm saying? Quinnen is blocked, but Quinnen is still in on his play. Like if you watch Quinnen at the top, Quinnen already beat his guy, and he basically somebody got Guyton is trying to move him, but Quinnen's flowing to the gap on his own. Now he stands Guyton up. But the rest of those guys, Agbania, Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, and Barham, they're all free for the ball. Like there's nowhere for him to go. Nowhere. Nowhere to go. Dead. Everybody won. I've been saying this all offseason. It's crazy. Let's see. Let's see this one. At the snap, what we got? Quinnen's in the backfield. Ogbo is standing. Look at Ogbo. He's being double teamed by BB and Booker. He hasn't moved. No, I mean, they haven't moved him at all. Ogbo is standing Booker up. He's being double teamed. He's standing Booker up still with one hand. He's holding Booker at bay with one hand. Booker pancakes one text routinely, like guys like Roach in real games. He being stood up with one hand right now by Ogbo. And Ogbo not a starter here. This is why I was saying before. He's not the starter. That's crazy. Look at Gary on the same rep. Boom. Gary dropped back in coverage, but he sees that his coverage now. He gets converged upon by Guyton. Boom. Comes in, makes that play too. Boom. He said Max would come and take this room beyond the edge. I don't disagree that Max would come. I mean, there's nowhere that Max Crosby's going to go. He's not going to make a team better. Let's just face that. I'm not crazy. But needed versus wanted is two different things. The reason I don't want him is kind of selfish. And this is my confirmation bias. If you ask me who I'm ignoring, I like this room. And I think this room is going to break records with or without Max Crosby. And the reason I say that is BT Jordan has done better with worse. The last 2 years, he's broken records, and I don't think Denver's front is anywhere near as good as Dallas's front, and he did it with them. So I think this front is already better than what he's had to work with, and you saw how well they've played without the guys like Max Crosby. They have, Benito, but who's coaching Benito to be a 15, 14 sack guy? You know what I mean? Who's coaching? That was BT Jordan. Same thing. So I'm looking at this room the same way. Now, everybody says I'm selling hope. Hey, if I am, you should buy some. You should definitely buy some. You know what I mean? We want Max Crosby. Don't get it twisted. We don't need him, though. And I want to see what these guys do without him. Now, if you want to go mid-season trade like we did with Quinnen and just, these guys are already killing it and you want to go add, a ringer to the group, then cool. But I want to see what these guys do on their own because I got them being one of the elite fronts in the league this season, especially when you count the run. Shout out to Quinnen Williams, much deserved extension, man. We're going to dig into it. Like, I'm not the numbers guy that gives a shit about the numbers, but I do give a shit about keeping good players in Dallas. And I think keeping Quinnen here frees up cap space, and it just gives, a little bit more assurance in regards to the front office seeing what we're seeing apples to apples. So I'm happy that they doing that, man. He said, shit, y'all bugging. Give me Max Crosby every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Like I said, I don't disagree. I like Max Crosby. I'm not gonna say King. So King, well, you're not wrong, brother. But I want to see what they can do without him. That's just me because I don't think we need him. And for everybody who think we do need him, tell me when the last time you seen Max Crosby win a playoff game. Get what I'm saying? Like, he is a great pass rusher. I think Myles Garrett is a great pass rusher. But we got to stop acting like these guys have been the difference makers in their teams getting deep in the play. They haven't. They haven't done anything at all that you can point to. But we want them because we know what they would do with this group. But stop acting like they're the linchpin where they are. They're not creating success where they are. Now, would they help create more success here, just like Myles Garrett is going to do with the Rams? Of course. Of course they would. Of course. But stop acting like they've been killing it, right? Even when they were down in Gary and Kenny Clark, they were down in them. But I'm like, those two have been to 2 championship games. Most of the guys y'all down them over, Micah Parsons included, have not. So Give me the guys that know how to get there. You know what I'm saying? These guys have been there, have played well in the playoffs consistently. So I'm not like saying, hey, it's those two and you don't need anything else. That's crazy. But this team and this front is already good, is my point. You know what I mean? And I want them to be able to go out and prove that. So that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But obviously, he said if injuries happen to Gary or Ezzy, we need another dog. I mean, that's any time on any team. Like if someone got injured, if Max Crosby got injured with the Raiders, they would need another dog. If Miles Garrett get injured, with the Rams, they need another dog. You know what I'm saying? So, obviously you're gonna need another dog if somebody get injured. That's never not true. You know what I mean? That's never not true. Here we go. Boom. Let's see what's happening here. As soon as Gary out, they get a little bit of movement this time. That was about as much as they got. That was a 5-yard run too. But, nothing much. Let's see who we got in there. That's Kenny and Quinnen again. Linebackers do what? Look at the Shamar James on this one. I think Shamar James would have blew Dak up on this one. Let's see Shamar James. Linebacker. Yep. Boom. Shamar James just did a good swim on Booker. That's all. That was a good move by Shamar. I like that, Shamar. Yeah, I like that, Shamar. Boom. Yeah, I just saw that. I mentioned that Quinnen got the bank, y'all. So those of you just jumped in, Quinnen Williams just signed. And I think he signed for 105, 3 years, 105. That was a good rush by Houston. But 3 years, 105. I thought that was a smart, signing by the front office. And it shows that we mean business in regards to keeping good guys around here. This is another hospital play for Gary right there. That was a hospital for Dak. Like Dak was a dead man. Dead. Let's see what Guyton does on this play against as he tries the bull rush. Does okay, but Guyton recovers right there and blocks both him and what's his face Overshawn. And then you can see Kenny Clark and Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams are making a mess right there in the A gap. But Gary definitely gets there and smacks some shit right there. Boom. We already talked about how Rebel's been coming on, but I think Rebel's been your best corner as far as film has been concerned. Now, here's something that they will say, or you will say, when you're getting thrown at a lot is because they don't want to throw at the other guy. So I think the reason you don't see Bland getting a lot of reps because they're not throwing at Bland that much. When they see Rebel, they're picking on him. But that could be the coaches too. He's kind of scripted. They want to throw more balls at Rebel to get him ready, and he's getting ready. I see Rebel. Now, this is the type of player Rebel is, man. I said last year, and I think other people agreed that he was average, or even if you want to say slightly below average, but I would say average because his press coverage was great. His zone coverage was below average or bad, very bad. His tackling was average, right? But I said if a guy can just jump off the couch, literally, no practice really, he wasn't practicing with the team. He didn't really have a training camp, and he was a rookie and he was injured, and he comes in and he's average. That's an A+ to me because how are you average when you haven't prepared, fresh off the couch? So now with a fresh knee, healthy, full camp, understanding of the playbook, a good scheme, I think Rebel's going to be a lot better than guys have given credit for. I think Rebel is a win when it comes to that type of signing. That was pretty damn good, man. Watch Barham here. He's going to set Booker up. Smith up right there. So he sets Tyler Smith up. And this ain't really a stunt. This is really just him using his feet to beat him. Boom. Over with. Dak dead. Everybody is in Dak's lap on this play. Like, you can't even see Dak. Dak was dead. Dead man. Dead man. Dead man. Watch this. Let's see what happens here. That play right there when they said, so let's watch this again. So I was listening to everybody talk about, hey, he did everything wrong in this play. But think about this. If he goes after Blue, even if he goes after him and chips him, but he misses, do you see on the outside here, you see Houston already got beat, and you see a body on Winters, right? That's not even, that's Downs that has a body on him. Winters is in pursuit, right? So Winters right now has a body on him. If he doesn't turn this back inside, so right now you see Demo hits Lipke and forces Blue to do what? Stop his feet and cut inside for help. If he doesn't do that, This is going up the sideline. So I don't. So miss me with he did everything wrong in that play. That was a beautiful play by Demo. Beautiful play. Beautiful play. You don't have to make the tackle every play to make the right play. He didn't. That wasn't the wrong read. You know, I think that he did what he was supposed to do. Boom. Look at Quinnen. Quinnen is taking. This is how he got signed right here. You want to know why Quinnen got his money? Because when you watch the other guy that you gave money to, get thrown around like this. Look at that. Look at Tyler Smith getting thrown by Quinnen. When you watch a guy like that getting thrown by Quinnen, you kind of, oh shit. You kind of start understanding where you're standing. Where is this at? Let me see. Where is it at? I lost it, fellas. Don't be mad. Let's see. Yeah, I might have lost that rep. I don't know where it's at. Oh no, here it comes. Smack. Demo killed right there. But this is how Quinnen got his money, man. Boom. Inside move there. Boom. Tries to up and under Smith, but Smith's holding a little bit. You can tell he holding because that would have dislodged anybody's hands. That move he made. Then boom, here again. But he took him on a ride though. That's for sure. Let's see here. Another ride. Beats him there. This is our guy, Kendricks. Played pretty well on that inside hip. Very good. Even though it's on span for it, but still good coverage. Oh, Malachi right there would have got another sack. So this is sack number 2 for Malachi that I counted. Watch Malachi here. Mm-hmm. Right, boom. Inside swipe, he just inside club move, gets up in there. And let's see what Quinnen was doing right there too. Let's see Quinnen and Smith. Look at Quinnen and Smith. He's been double teamed. Watch Smith at the end of this play. Boom. Quinnen, his initial power is just crazy. Watch what he does. Just watch where Quinnen is in the middle of the field. Watch what Quinnen does to BB and Smith. He's just smacking those guys up, man. Smacking them up. That's why he got paid. That's why he got paid. Boom. Right there, blowing this up. Like Quinnen is just making plays. Watch this. He gonna blow this up too. Watch this. Boom. So he's standing this guy. He's being double teamed. Boom. Gets rid of BB again. Being double teamed still. Swims through Smith. Boom. Tackle. Crazy work. Watch what he does to Smith. He almost hurt Smith on this one. They're like, yo, you gotta calm down. Smith could have, if Smith would have tried to plant that foot, it was a wrap. Watch this. Plant that foot, it's a wrap for you, buddy. Watch this. Watch Quinnen on this one. Plant that foot, it's a wrap for you. Who you ever seen do that to Booker? I don't see nobody doing that to Booker. Nobody does that to him. Quinnen and Kenny and Ogbo, my guy Bullard. Watch Bullard on this play. Look at Bullard up the middle. Bullard is taking, who was that? Booker. He took Booker into the backfield. Look, Bullard and Ogbo are the backups. Look at where they at right now. Bullard and Ogbo are in Dak's lap right now. Dak can't do shit. He's going to try to throw this ball above them. They get their hands up. One of them get their hands on the ball. Interception for Hooker. Crazy. Look at Barham. By the time the ball get handed off, linebackers run, what? Free. Smack. That would have been a bang, bang play. Barham would have blew that up. Let's see what happens here. That was that other one where Rebel thought he had an interception and got smacked up again. It was over. Look at Gary here. This is a quick win. Dak has the ball in his hands. That would have been like bang bang. Dak probably would have got the ball off, but he would have got hit at the same time. I won't call that a sack, but it was pretty close. Pretty close. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, that everybody. What do you call this? Student body right? You know where we all used to have y'all used to call that Tiger left, Caesar left, student body right. The whole motherfucking defense is in Dak's lap. Everybody won. Gary won. Demo's in there. Kenny's in there. Quinnen's in there. Ew. I'm surprised they ain't accidentally hit Dak on this one, but they in there. Everybody. They trying their hardest not to hit him. And then Bland would have had a near interception right there. Right there. That's another sack right there for Gary. That ball would have been a strip sack right there. He just stopped himself. Watch this. Look at the bend. Don't they be liking the bend. Now, if this, I want y'all to do a time kill. Remember that time to kill? They said, I want you to imagine, now I want you to imagine that she's white. You know what I mean? And it put it in the right, frame of mind or frame of reference for the jury. I want you to look at the camp footage of Gary, and I want you to imagine that he was Max Crosby and watch how much they would be talking about it. They haven't talked about this guy all off season. A lot of guys won't talk, and if they do, it's always a backhand compliment. Like, he's a hustler. Like, that's just good pass rush, man. That's not good, just good hustle. Look at that, boom. That was crazy work. Let me see. Look to your left, because it's quick. It's gonna happen fast, folks. Why? The bend is there. He's already beat him. Already, boom, over with. That was over with. Over with. That was that forced fumble we was talking about earlier. But either way, you know what I mean? Let me get back in the frame. Crazy work, man. Like I said, shout out to everybody who's been keeping tabs and sending me highlights, because you guys been keeping me informed while I'm building and doing things, and definitely appreciate it. Shout out to my guys. I definitely realize that if you're in Philadelphia or in the Philadelphia area and you follow me, you can come chill with us at the Payback Bar and Lounge, our sports lounge. We are open September 20th. We should be opening, and do a lot of content from there too, just to not only promote the spot, but it's a sports bar. Why wouldn't I? If I own a sports bar, I might as well put my face up in there somewhere, right? So, it's gonna be fun. But for those who just came in and talked about the Quinnen Williams signing, that signing we knew it was coming. A lot of you are like, well, why ain't sign Pickens? And well, listen, you don't sign two receivers before you sign your premier defensive tackle. I don't think, But what it means to me is that the Cowboys front office, they mean business, and it's going to be something going on, man. Going against CD and GP every day, Rebel is going to be ready. He'll be locking shit up. You are right, Judah. I'm going to go up and start reading some of these comments. Let me read my super chats first. I appreciate it. He said, what does QW deal mean for GP's potential deal? Oh, that's actually, I just answered. I think GP still gets a deal here if we do well this season. And obviously, if he's willing to negotiate in a different way, I think GP is going to want number one receiver money, which I think he deserves. But he's going to have to make a choice. Like, do you want to break the bank and reset the market here, or do you just want to be here? Because I think that's the conversation we're having. Are they going to give him reset the market money? I don't think so. Is he worth reset the market money? I do think so. The question is he worth that money with a different quarterback? Well, we've seen him with other quarterbacks. He didn't break 1,000 yards, right? So if he was getting a deal based off that body of work, would he be getting a reset the market type of deal? Well, we already know the answer is no, because they did that with DK Metcalf before he left the Steelers, right? So 1 year and uber potential versus the Cowboys understanding the leverage in your body of work without, the tools that you have here. So it's a gift and a curse for both parties. It's a gift and a curse really for the Cowboys organization, but it's less for them and more so for GP, because the Cowboys know we already have CD and we already were the number one or our top five offense without you, GP. Now, would you make that easier for us? Of course he does. But it's the same conversation I had on the opposite side of the ball with Max Crosby. Do you want Max Crosby? Yes. Do you need him? No. Do you want George Pickens? Hell yeah. Do you need him in order to be competitive? We already know the answer is no, because we didn't have him and we still were. Matter of fact, we didn't make the playoffs when we did have him, but that was for the defense's fault. But when we didn't have him, we were still making the playoffs and we were still a top five offense, right? So I would say that he needs the Cowboys just as much as they need him. It's about him making a decision in regards to what is best for his career. Taking a deal that is a good deal, but not the best deal in the world, and being in a market where you can save money on tax and get a lot of endorsements that you probably won't get in those smaller markets. Do you want to do that, or do you want the ego boost and the gratification of getting the reset the market type deal? And if that's what you're going after, you're going to have to hit the free agency market to do it. I don't think you're going to get that here. And I understand the Cowboys not wanting to do that because, I just don't see them locking up, two premier number one receivers. And then they're going to keep fighting back and forth after that because then CD's going to want to reset the market again after that. And then GP is going to, you know what I'm saying? It's just a seesaw, but they're going to keep doing it. So I don't know, man. Here's another one. Nova Guy 60 said, I would like to save a big trade for a need later. I would agree there. I would want to see a trade later too. Unc Alert, what's up, man? What's up with you? All right, let me go up. There's a lot of y'all. So y'all know once I start going into these comments, it's gonna take a while. He said, I want to see them with Max Crosby. I ain't got to knock your hope, but I'd rather have the for sure over the hope. I won't argue with you there. The issue I do have with it though is what you're giving up for Max Crosby. Like people who are saying we're giving up GP for Max Crosby, I wouldn't do that with the defense that we have right now. I would make offenses have to try to keep up with GP and CD opposing offenses. So you mean you're gonna have guys that have to come out and play pass heavy against this front because you have GP there and they got to try to keep up with what Dak and those guys are going to do and the points they're going to put up. Dak only got to put up like 27 to 20 to 27 points a game for us to win. I don't see us giving up more than 15 to 20 points a game as a defense. I just don't see it. I don't even see 20 points a game against this defense, but maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? But if I am, I am. And you might say that's hope, but I'm just going off of what I see talent-wise. We haven't been this talented in quite some time. They were talking about with the 20.5 million in cap space this late in the offseason, Max Crosby is definitely doable, but I'm with Okoye on this one. Judas Redemption, I appreciate you. But I want to see what we do. Like I said, Max Crosby, shout out to him. If we get him, I'm going to be excited if we do. So I'm not going to be mad if we do. But just understand, I don't think we need him. Max is one guy. Tell me one player you ever seen win a playoff game. Okoye, stop that, brother. Oh, no, I'm not saying one guy needs to win them. I'm saying the guys that y'all be talking about, though, haven't been the difference makers in getting to them or winning them, Micah included. So that's really that's not me saying one player is supposed to do it, but y'all talk like the one player is going to be this world beater that gets us to the upper echelon. Now, the next Charles Haley. I remember Charles Haley came to a team, right? Wherever he went, the Super Bowl went. Deion Sanders would go to, he was in San Fran, they won the Super Bowl. Cowboys came and got him. They won the Super Bowl. That's what I mean. Difference-making players that will take you to the next level because they've done it. So I'm not saying one player is the only player that will get that wins a game. I'm saying the same way you act about us needing one player, show me where those one players have been those difference makers, where they've gone. Where when they get to a team, DeMarcus Ware goes to Denver, they win a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I think that Max Crosby could be that here? I do. I do think he could be, but I don't think he's needed at this point because of the way they're performing. I just really don't. I think that the way this front is run, I've seen lesser teams with lesser talent break sack records. Like Denver wasn't, they didn't have Max Crosby last year. They had Benito and Cooper, Zach Allen, and Roach. Those guys, they not, number one overall type pass rushers or big splash guys. The Seattle Seahawks, they had Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy and D Law and Mafe and a bunch of guys, but none of those guys were on Max Crosby level at all. So this is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? New England, who were their premier pass rushers? They were in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? On the edge, I'm talking about. So when we have this argument, I keep coming back to that and I'm saying, hey, you got to be able to stop the run and be stout up front overall first to get opportunities to pass rush. I don't think anybody looks at the Buffalo game where we had Michael Parsons here, where they came in and didn't even throw the ball but 15 times and whooped us. So do I think pass rush is important? Yes. But I think that what we have here is much more important. And the pieces that we have here are already ready to take us to the next level without Max Crosby, without Sweat or any of those guys. Will you hear me argue against it from a they're trash and we don't want good players standpoint? No. But the idea that we're not already good and we're not already tough is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? They are already pretty damn good up front. Like very. You know what I'm saying? Your weak link is Azaraku and Malachi Lawrence. And I think they're gonna come on strong and still give you 4 or 5 sacks this season each because of the guys that they have playing with them. And then when you have the linebacker play that we have where guys are penetrating, I'm talking about from a schematic standpoint, guys are penetrating upfield on the film, not in my feelings, but in real life, you're going to get sacks from the interior as well, not just from your interior linemen, but from those linebackers too. Then you're going to get what Gary's doing. So this front, not one player, but the Cowboys front seven is very formidable already. Very, very formidable. Now, if you want to add something like a solid linebacker, like if you added Jordan Brooks, or if you wanted to add another corner that's a guaranteed start opposite side, that will push us over the top, in my opinion. I agree with Stephen Jones there. If you wanted to add Max Crosby without having to give up George Pickens, yeah, I'll do that too. But I'm not giving up nothing crazy to get him. I will tell you that. That's where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? If you can get him on a good deal, take him. You can get him without giving up something that already makes us solid and good. Do it. But outside of that, hell no. No. He said, who led the league in tackles for loss? Oh, yeah, Max Crosby. I don't got a problem. That's not a hate on Max Crosby's stats, right? But I will give you this. Max Crosby also has a lot of tread on his tires, right? So I want to see Max Crosby do well. I think he's healthy. He's going to play well here. I want to see him do well wherever he's at. So don't get me into the try to knock Max Crosby stat conversation because you're not going to get that out of me. Max coming to Dallas, you're not going to get me to hate on that either. But us thinking that if we don't get Max Crosby in Dallas, we are doomed, that's bullshit. I ain't never going to stand on that with y'all. I would never say it because it don't make sense. Why would we be saying it? If he's not doing that where he at, why y'all think he gonna come here? If let's just say Gary was hurt and Max is here by himself, right? Like, or Gary's not here, knock on wood, and it was just Max. I don't think if Max was here and Gary wasn't, I don't think you guys would be saying we need to go get another guy to help Max out. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. And if productivity is all you're looking for, Gary's giving you that already in the preseason and off season, everything that he's doing. So as I said before, if Max came here and was doing the same things that you see Gary doing right now, people would be elated. They're not elated because it's not the person that they want to get it from. Just like the chicks, you could take a chick to McDonald's if she like you, you know what I'm saying, and she gonna love it. She gonna be like, "Get me a Happy Meal." You could take a chick to Cheesecake Factory and she don't like you. She'll say, "This ain't Ruth Chris." You know what I'm saying? So that's what y'all got going on with the Max Crosby talk. Gary's already balling right now. You know what I'm saying? And if it was Max in his place, you wouldn't be saying we know that we need to go get rid of GP to get a defensive end. If Max was doing exactly, and I'm not talking about more than, I mean, if he was doing exactly what Gary's already done in camp, you wouldn't say shit. Everybody like, well, we got it. We got our guy because you want it from who you want it from. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I agree. They're looking at him at Mike. I just don't think that means he's locked in as a starter. Parker could simply be building depth at the position. I think you're talking about Demo and Barham. Okay. To be a dog at defensive tackle is much more valuable than to be a dog at wide receiver. We need both though. That's tough. Yeah, I appreciate you saying it. King, he said, I think out of all the linebackers on the team, Overshawn has the highest chance of starting. I don't know, bro. Barham is playing pretty damn good. I won't front on Barham. Barham playing pretty good. I understand what you're saying. However, that would be true. We still been in 2025 training camp and unsure of contractual context and new acquisitions. Are you talking to somebody else? I'm not gonna read that again. He said highest chance of being out for the season, bro. I think you're talking about Demo probably. I don't get that either. The way y'all talk about that, like he got hurt twice. Yes, the same. I don't know if it's the same knee or two different knees, but the same type of injury. Yes, but I don't know why he got hurt 2 years in a row. Michael Parsons got hurt 2 years in a row. Michael Parsons is not injury prone, but Demo is injury prone. Michael Parsons hurt his calf 1 year and then tore his ACL the next. Demo tore his ACL 1 year, played well the next, and then tore it again at the end of the next season. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get it. But why is Michael Parsons not injury prone? He got injured too, twice in 2 seasons. You know what I'm saying? And missed significant time, both times. So I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. That's fair. Comes with the front office, has to push for the middle linebacker. I see you. I like I said, I'm just not giving up. GP, Uncle Lurdy. I see that. He said, "Man, I believe Dallas is going to grab a receiver in the draft for free or free agency. GP, straight though, he'll get his. Probably, I think so too. Very true, which is why they extend Q and just created cap space to make more moves. Exactly. Y'all got to get off the GP thing. It was a convo, not a let's do it. Bro, listen, you can feel how you want, right? I'm just going off of what people been saying. And when certain people have the convo, shout out to my guy Brian Broadus, because I think they said it on Crown Global. Shout out to Broadus. But when certain people say it, a lot of y'all really went with it like, hey, we need to get rid of GP. I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with getting rid of GP to get him. I wouldn't say Max Crosby coming here would be trash, but if you can find a way to get him without getting rid of GP, do it. Go ahead. And I agree with that. Max and Gary would be crazy. Gary and Quinnen and Gary and Kenny Clark is gonna be crazy too. But yeah, Max with Gary would be sick. That would be nasty. That's what people not talking about. We're gonna get O line. Watch, Terrence Steele is slowly falling off. I really don't like how y'all do offensive linemen, man, or this offensive line. We have a good offensive line, even with Terrence Steele on it. Terrence Steele tore his ACL, his left ACL, which is why he's susceptible to inside moves, yes, because he doesn't have that strength to plant on that left foot. I noticed that years ago, and it's still true today. I watched the Eagles take advantage of that 1 year, and it's still true today, right? I will give you that. But you don't have all pros all up and down any offensive line, except for maybe the Eagles. But you don't get that type of success on most offensive lines because, some guys are going to have flaws. They're going to have something going on with them where you can beat them. You know what I mean? And Terrence Stills just so happens to be his inside moves. You could get him with inside moves. But you're not beating him outside too often. You're not going to beat him with the quick, twitchy, athletic guys. You got to be strong and stout when you take that move inside. Otherwise, he could plant his foot sturdy and stop you, flatten your tracks. So, I do think Terrence Steele is probably the weak link on the line, but that doesn't make him weak. You know what I mean? Neither is Guyton. I think they're both good, not great, or average, not great, meaning C to C plus type tackles. But in your interior, you got B to A plus. You got Cooper BB, who I think is a BB. You know what I mean? Then you got 2 A plus guys in Booker and Tyler Smith. That's a formidable line. You know what I mean? If you have trouble in your interior, I think you're in more trouble than you are on the exterior. Like your tackles, your left tackle needs to be better than your right, and it is here. I think Guyton is coming on strong in this camp, and nobody's talking about that either. Guyton's practicing very well. Like he looks good. Now is he getting beat every once in a blue? Every once in a blue, but he's not going to win every rep. None of them are winning every rep. Tyler Smith's not winning every rep. So Guyton's having just as good a camp as Tyler Smith at this point. You know what I mean? And when you talk about wins versus him, nobody's really whooping Guyton's ass. You know what I mean? They're not just beating him every play. He's gotten beat probably just as many times as Smith has. Now, Steele has been beaten more than everybody, right? But right after that, it's like out of BB and Booker, they're both getting beat too. But I think that's more so how good this defensive line is. It's not about how bad the offensive line is. I think the defensive line is just that good. If you took the second team guy, this is how you can tell. Like if Dak can't get a ball off, because the offensive line, everybody's porous, then that's bad. right? The offensive line is bad. But that's not the case. If you put anybody else against Still's blocking Ezraku just fine. Still is blocking Malachi Lawrence just fine. He's just not blocking Gary fine. That's it. When you look at BB and those guys, now BB and Booker and Tyler Smith have been getting hell from Ogbo, from Bullard, from Quinnen, and from Kenny. They all whooping ass on the interior, but that's not because the interior is weak. It's because they're going up against a very strong interior defensive line. That's it. Okoye, is the talk about our interior concern? I'm hearing Guyton and still have been having issues so far. I'm addressing that now. I mean, when you say issues, I would say still had. If it's everybody, like if it's open season and everybody can beat you, then you got an issue. Everybody's not beating still over and over again. Show if they are, I haven't seen those clips. I've seen 2 clips of Malachi Lawrence beating him. I've seen none of Ezraku beating him. And I've seen Ezraku get lifted off the ground 2 or 3 times, which, to your point about Max Crosby, I would say that was the biggest concern for me. Is like, okay, Ezzy, you are a little light in the ass. But in my opinion, I do think that rotation over there is going to be okay, right? Again, if you can go get Max Crosby and you can do it without, breaking the bank, then do it. Slight contradiction, Okoye. Where didn't win here first, then went to Denver. Yeah. Where didn't win here first, but Where was getting in the. It's not a contradiction because Where we was getting in the playoffs. Like it wasn't like Where wasn't performing in the playoffs or something. Where was performing whenever he got on the field, he would perform. So him getting to Denver, he was that piece that took them over the top. That was I said that on purpose, though. He was the flip in that story. But this is what I mean. Those guys, Reggie White and Where, I bring them up on purpose. Reggie White didn't win the Super Bowl with the Eagles, did he? No. But when he went, and when I say difference maker, this is my point. When he went to Green Bay, he was the difference maker that took them over the top. You get what I mean? Okay, if that's what you're looking for, I don't know if I think Max Crosby with Gary would do that. I'm not gonna say that he won't. He would do that. But y'all talking like they're already that where they are. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that they're in the same conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the way that those guys are destroying teams on their own. If you say that's a contradiction, I call it a stalemate. We can argue about it. If we was live, you wanted a link, we can argue about it. You're not going to get me to say that Max Crosby wouldn't take this team over the top because I think he would. But do I think that we would give up GP to do it? I think that would be dumb as hell. Now, if you can get him without it, I keep saying it, then go for it. Me and my personal, my personal bias is I think that these guys are already good without him, and I want to see what they can do. That's me personally. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be happy if I get Max Crosby. Now, I don't think they're after Max Crosby unless Stephen Jones was doing a little bit of subterfuge when he didn't name defensive end as one of his concerns. He might have been trying to throw everybody off and not tip his hand at what he's trying to do because they do that. So who knows? I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm always right. I could be wrong, but I'm not wrong about this front 7, though. I could be wrong about whether or not they want Max Crosby. But do we need him? I'm not wrong about not needing him. We don't need him. I just want him. We don't need him. Seahawk D had no weaknesses, different animal. Cowboys D has hope at the edge, hope at the linebacker, and hope at corner. How did you find out they had no weaknesses? After the season? Like during the season, you didn't think they had. Before the season started, nobody even picked the Seahawks to be in the Super Bowl. So they had weaknesses. Those guys just came together. The scheme came together and did what it was supposed to do. And when you look at edge, you say they had no weaknesses at edge. They had no sacks at edge either. Who was getting sacks? D-Law led the edge room with 6. Where were the rest of those guys? 2, 3. That's it. So that's my point. It's like you talk like they was like world beaters. Mafe played the same amount of snaps as Gary last season. Everybody was like, "Oh, boy, Mafe would have been a great signing. We should have got him over Gary." They had the same amount of snaps. He had less pressures and less sacks than the guy that y'all think that he is a better pass rusher than. That doesn't even make sense. They had the same amount of snaps. Max Crosby had more snaps and had the same amount of sacks, but I think that was a down year for Max Crosby. They were trying to stop Max Crosby, the team, his own team was, But Mafe, they wouldn't want nobody trying to stop him. And he can't stop the run. I don't understand why we was having that argument. So they say they had no weaknesses, bro. I think you're wrong there, Dave. But, it is what it is. We got to stop acting like we too good for Max. That's madness. Bro, if you want Max, want him. If you want him, want him. You know what I'm saying? But to act like we need him, to make our whole offseason, this is where y'all fuck up at with me. To make our whole offseason about a guy that don't play for the Cowboys when you got this type of team, when I've seen a lot of y'all excited about teams that don't even touch this team, now suddenly, y'all standard is so high that this team ain't good enough. But y'all was hype about teams where we had D-Law, Micah Parsons, Armstrong, Slam Williams, Fowler, Hankins, Osa, Chauncey, all on the same team, right? And y'all was hype about them teams. I ain't hear y'all screaming Max Crosby then, right? I ain't hear that. Those fronts can't touch this front. But now suddenly we in trouble. That's where y'all bullshit at. That's the madness that I'm talking about. That's madness. Or to make it seem like the whole offseason, all I keep hearing is edge, Max Crosby. He don't play here. Max Crosby don't play for the Cowboys. What are the guys here doing? And y'all shit on everything that they do because y'all want Max Crosby. So that's like somebody, like I told you, a girl who don't like you, you could take her to Capitol Grill. She gonna still say you should have took her to Steak 48. A girl that love you, you take her to McDonald's, she happy, she raving about the Happy Meal. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way y'all are. Y'all keep overlooking the things that these guys are doing because you don't want them to do well. That's like, what do you call it? Cognitive dissonance. That's what they call it. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know what that means, you are mentally disowning the progress that these guys are making and the way they look. And it's not hope. There ain't no hope. I'm talking about film. Y'all talking about hope. I'm talking about film. What are they doing on it right now, before the season? You know what I mean? Last season, what were they doing? The guys who were here. Right. And then you got guys like I said, Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark on the same team with Rashawn Gary. Is crazy to me. I'm not being a homer when I say that. Those three guys together is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Name me a better trio right now. 3. Name them. It's not that many. You might find 2 teams. 2. And there will be an argument if it's even better. But you might find 2. So why y'all making it seem like I'm tripping when I say that? Y'all tripping saying that all we need is Max. Y'all didn't need him before the season. So where did it come from? It didn't come from you. That didn't come from you. 864 Cowboys fan. Max Crosby was signed with the Ravens, right? He was going to sign with the Ravens. Then what? We would still be screaming Max Crosby name? Oh, that didn't come from you. The narrative came from somewhere, right? It didn't come from you. So the fact that this is the talk for the whole offseason, and now we in the training camp and we still talking like if we don't get him, it's a loss, is ridiculous to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, that doesn't mean don't go make an acquisition and get him. That just means why are we making the Cowboys whole offseason about a player who may or may not get here? And y'all talking about I'm the one with the hope. I'm the one that's building around the people who are here. That ain't hope. That's the people here. We know we got these players. We hope we can get Max Crosby. That's hope. We hope we can get him. If we get him, guess what I'm going to start talking about? What we about to do with him. But until we do that, it's hope. And when we get him, or if we get him, I'm going to be happy as you are, bro. But I'm not about to scream about it all day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to keep saying this boy name like he played for the Cowboys. He don't play here. If he does, I'm going to be happy. But he ain't here yet. Nobody heard a damn thing about Quentin Williams last year coming here. So what I sit and talk, we need a Quentin. No, but once we got Quentin, I was like, God damn, nobody heard a damn word about Kenny Clark before he got here. You see the trend? Like they don't usually go out and do that. But when they did make those types of moves, I was happy that they made them. I'm going to look up and represent anybody that played for the Star and bleed blue and silver. I do like that. But I'm not bitching about nobody who don't play for the Cowboys. I'm not. That's just not in my makeup. It's like a coach. Coach want better players all day. Recruiting and all that and talent acquisition is a 24/7 business, right? But crying because I can't get and I'm not trying to troll you by saying crying. I'm not saying you crying, bro. I'm just using that as a euphemism or a colloquial term to express the disgust that y'all got for not having a player who ain't never suited up for the Cowboys and who's about to suit up for the Ravens. If he'd have been on the Ravens, would y'all be saying that right now? Would y'all be saying we trash? No, y'all saying it because somebody else is saying that if we don't get Max Crosby, we trash. But that ain't come from you, and it wouldn't have came from you. It's coming from the fact that people are never satisfied. A lot of content creators are not satisfied, and some of them are my homies. I ain't trying to come at them personally. I fuck with all of them, but I don't agree with the whole if we this doom and gloom, if we don't get him, it's a problem. And then y'all keep saying that if y'all want to go with hope, go with hope. Y'all the ones going with hope. Y'all hoping that we get a player that we may or may not ever see on with the Cowboys. If we don't see him, I don't give a shit. I think we still gonna be good. So how me saying that crazy, and that's hope. How me saying that I think we got a good team right now. And it's not that I like our guys. It's not that somebody just said that this like our guys stuff is insane, right? Somebody just said that in the chat. Bruh, what's wrong with liking these guys? Are you a Cowboy fan? What's wrong with liking your team if it's a good team? Now, are we trash? If we was coming out here and trying to slap lipstick on a pig and saying like close plays and I don't know, it's none of that. Like the defense has been dominating this offense, and we know how good this offense has been consistently. How's that hope? Is the defense performing or not? Is Caleb Downs performing? In the chat, is Caleb Downs performing? We're gonna go position for position. Is he performing very well, above expectation or at expectation, whatever your expectations were? I would say put ones in the chat if you think so. Put 13s in the chat if he's performing. Is Revel performing? Put 28s in the chat if you think Revel's performing. I think he's performing. Bland, haven't even seen him. Is he healthy though? Put some 26s in the chat. Now those three right there are to me, that's starting caliber with your nickel included with, as far as Downs is concerned. But then we add Kobe Durant to the mix. Is number 2 performing? Put some 2s in the chat. All right, is our safety room looking okay? Looking good? I think PJ Locke is good. I think Caleb Downs is good. I think Hooker is okay. You know what I mean? And I think that Bell has even been coming on playing all right. You know what I'm saying? So is our safety room looking good? I think so. Our linebackers, is that a concern for me? Yes. But have our linebackers, Shamar James, who I'll be coming at something crazy included, has Shamar James even been playing well in training camp? He has. Have the linebackers been shooting gaps, running free to the quarterback, and not against the second team, against the first team, getting free runs at Dak all training camp? 100%. Has Butler been performing? I seen somebody mention Butler. Yes, he has. The only one who hasn't been performing, and I do understand the argument, the only one who hasn't performed to the point where it's like, damn, that boy look good. Malachi Lawrence. That's it. He's looking okay right now. But he ain't even got to start. Ezra Rocco's been good versus the run. I would say good versus the run. Okay in pass rush, but he's still a stunting ass. He can stunt and he can move, and his tenacity and viciousness is okay. Does he have to be a 15-sack guy for it to count? Or all pro to count? No. Is he performing though? Yes. Is he performing like a starting edge? Yes. Quentin Williams, Ogbo, Kenny Clark, and Bullard, have they performed? Yes. Has Gary overachieved what everybody said he wasn't so far? Yes. So what the fuck am I talking about? Why would I be? Where's the area I should be bitching about? Like where? Even the plays that you see them making, most of the deep balls that they're getting after getting sacked. Dak not sitting in clean pockets throwing deep. Dak is getting smacked. He's just not getting smacked. So what are we talking about? He said, so now I see you want to see the young guys, huh? No, I just don't. Like I said, are you a Max Crosby fan or are you a Cowboy fan? Which one? I'm a Cowboy fan, fam. So when Max Crosby is a Cowboy, I'm going to be a Max Crosby fan, fam. If he's not a Cowboy, cool. When he become one, cool. I'm cool either way. But will you hear me screaming that all day? No. Where they do that at? We don't do that. We don't do that, bro. We don't do that. We re-rocking what we got until we get something else. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I am. That's the way I am with anything. If it's like, yo, Them boys over there versus us, it's like, man, look, it's what they gotta deal with us just like we gotta deal with them. Now, would I say, hey man, that boy switched teams and he over here with us? Would I be happy? Hell yeah. I'm not crazy, but I'm not about to keep screaming that man's name like that, like he over here. I mean, he ain't even screaming the Cowboys. We screaming him. He ain't saying shit about us. You know what I'm saying? You got Jane Slater. She jump up and just start talking about it like Jerry ain't even mentioned that man's name. She just said Max Crosby. I'll be like, why are you bringing that up? She wanted to make that her story, right? Which is cool. That's cool. You know what I mean? Because she probably knows something I don't know. And I think it is very real. I've heard on good authority that the Max Crosby trade talk is very real. So if it happens, cool. But right now, what is it? Is he a Cowboy? Or do we hope that he becomes a Cowboy? Exactly. Hope. So how the fuck am I the one hoping? That don't even make sense. I'm talking about what we got. Y'all talking about what we hope we get. And y'all saying that I'm going on hope. It's crazy. Y'all crazy. That's circular logic right there, man. You gotta get it together, man. I love y'all, but goddamn. Let me see. Let me get down here. It's a lot of y'all. Y'all gotta hit at Okoye so I can see it, or y'all gotta super chat because I can't see the questions. Some of y'all asking questions, some of y'all not. Okoye, what had Max did for the Raiders team in terms of playoffs? Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Hey, Okoye, when do you when you do call-ins, I need to have a talk with you about this for real, for real. Oh man, oh man. So the next live, I'm gonna put a link in and you can jump in because usually when I do that, none of y'all say nothing. Y'all don't really jump on and say nothing. I've been on here for almost 2 hours, so I'm not gonna do it today, but I will do it. The next live, I'm gonna put the link up and we can have it out. Make sure you're on here though, because y'all always say that, and then I turn the show into a disagreement day and nobody come on and disagree with nothing. So I'm like, well, that was kind of a moot point. Don't nobody want to argue or debate with me. I'm gonna play nice. We don't need Max Cosby. We're good on the D line. Max would be a welcome addition. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But don't say that man name no more. Like y'all glazing him like we need this dude to save the day or something. No, he just gonna be the icing on the cake if we get him. And I hope we get him. If we don't, you see what I said? Hope. And if we don't, who gives a goddamn? I don't. I know Barham been balling. They love Overshawn in the building. Politics going to play a part. Barham is probably the better middle linebacker of the two, though. I think Barham is like big paws on the pup. That bull he just got a different energy. Yeah, I mean, you know how sometimes you think you tough, right? Some people be thinking they tough. Like everybody a gangster to a real gangster walking in the room. Like everybody a tough guy to that one tough guy walking in the room. Barham is like that guy where it's like, oh yeah, you be like, yo, Overshawn is that bull. But then Barham coming and be like, that's a middle linebacker right there, though. You know what I'm saying? Right there. That's a middle linebacker right there. You know what I mean? I don't think Demo can't do it, though. I think Demo could do it. I think Demo is a guy that I think will be a great linebacker in this league, whether he's playing middle or anywhere else. He's a great athlete. If he can stay healthy and he stop being so goddamn wild, I think Demo's going to be a very good player no matter what he does. But Barham just got a different aura to him where it's like he look like he want to kill some shit. And I like that. I like Demo's tenacity too. I like all of our linebackers, really. I like all three of them. But I don't know. I don't think any of them is like none of them are better than the other. Like none of them are like right now, they're all like right here. Meaning I don't care who starts out of those three. That means there's not the guy in that room where it's like this is his job. I think that would be Barham if he was 2 years in right now, but because he's a rookie, still learning certain things, you don't quite know what you get with that. Winters, he's learning a new scheme. He's okay. He's good in coverage, but you don't, we'll see what he can do. And then Demo, can he stay healthy? It's all these question marks. Now that's a hope position, but I wouldn't mind going out and getting a solid lineal starter and having those other guys rotate. That would make us extremely, extremely dangerous right now. Outside of Brooks, who would you like to see come in and add to the linebacker room if we can get another thumper? There ain't very many, bro. Honestly, if you're not gonna go out and get an all-pro level linebacker, don't go get one. Unless you go add one, but if you're not gonna go get a difference maker, like a real difference maker, I don't care who you get. To be honest with you, I don't care. I think Jordan Brooks would be my number one. And when you look at what Miami did, even though they did sign him, they also went and got Kyle Lewis and also uh, J Rod. So they got linebackers to replace him with if they got rid of Jordan Brooks. So I would say Jordan Brooks still is a guy that we could hope for. Let's say use that word hope again. My theory is if Overshawn ball out, they will pay him and have him as the face of the defense. I think Barham is your future at middle linebacker. So face of the defense for how long? Because I don't think Overshawn is better than Barham by far. And the reason I say that is the things that I like that Overshawn can do. Overshawn, so it's a tweener, right? I think Overshawn, I like Overshawn differently than I like Barham. I think I like Overshawn in the traditional sense. If you want to have him as the plugger, meaning the guy next to the mic in your 3-4 or your nickel guy, yeah. Because of his background as a safety, he's explosive sideline to sideline. He can slash very well. He's mean. He can hit. That's what Overshawn is very good at. He can pick up and match up with receivers because of his time as a safety and his explosiveness. I like that. Straight line speed. I like that. Barham can do those things at a high clip, but also coming forward downhill, very difficult to block. His stunting ability, very difficult. He can line up outside as a outside linebacker and flat out beat tackles by himself, but he also can stunt and blitz very well at a high clip. You know what I mean? So having that is different. That's just different. And then he's just bigger, stronger, like just a nasty dude. Barham is like just a different animal. He said Demo can't be worse than Murray. Y'all pour on the Murray something crazy. Murray had a okay last season. It wasn't great, but it wasn't what y'all try to make it out to be, which is wild. Y'all kept blaming him for things that everybody else was really doing. And I ain't gonna keep defending him. He don't play here no more. You know what I'm saying? You see how hard I defended Murray? Do you think I'm a Murray fan? I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm a Cowboy fan. If I see something, I'm gonna say it. Truth or not. You know what I'm saying? If it's a Cowboy, it's a Cowboy. If he ain't a Cowboy no more, you don't hear me speak about him. That's why I'm not talking about Max Crosby until when he's a Cowboy. Let's talk about Max Crosby. People are acting like Max Crosby guarantees a Super Bowl. I'll be happy if we get him, but I'm not gonna cry if we don't. That's exactly where I stand, bro. Overshawn plays with more reckless abandonment, missiles only, no go. Changing direction when playing at his speed is what gets him hurt. Yep, that's actually true. Yeah, whenever he try to break down and stop, them ligaments tell him, "Hey man, you need to torque down, man." That's like trying to like drive a muscle car like it's a like it's Gran Turismo or something, or like it's a race car. It's not. It goes straight real good, but start trying to corner with that thing, you're gonna flip. I don't think that's a theory. I think that's a fact. They want Demo to play in the middle. No, they do. But I don't think that Demo is gonna win out against the other homegrown guy in Barham. Quinn's most guarantees at signing for defensive tackle in the NFL history, plus 3-year extension at 105.9 million in new money, 35 per year, annual pay, and 101 guaranteed, 63 million fully guaranteed. Beautiful, beautiful. He said, "You're not running on Gary Max and oh no, we're not going to talk about his play." Yeah, I agree that you ain't doing shit against that fucking front at all. Even if they stop playing 3-4, they could play out the nickel with those four. You still can't run. Having Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark changes the equation if they're collapsing the pocket and forcing the QB out. You don't necessarily need a premier pass rusher to get 15 sacks. Judah, you speaking too much sense. You should stop. That's why I think Gary is going to do way better than y'all think. I don't know how they think Gary not going to do better, but it's crazy. Still is a subpar pass blocker. Where are all the sacks? That's what I'm. Where are all the sacks? Is Dak leading the league in sacks and pressures as a quarterback? I mean, is he getting sacked more than anybody else? So when you call him subpar as a pass blocker, you can't call a guy subpar because they get beat a couple times a game. You know what I'm saying? That's not subpar. Subpar is you getting beat. You're going to get whoop. They're going to just take turns on you. That's not what happens to Still. Still gives up some plays, but I think that Still is average. He's a C as a C plus. Subpar would be D, would be Chaz Green. Chaz Green gave up like 7 sacks in a game. Chaz Green is subpar. I would say Still, we argue about Still. You know why? Because we are spoiled by the fact that we got Booker, BB, Tyler Smith, and Guyton's coming on strong too. But you got to think about it. All the rest of those guys, BB as a center, I think, our guard, uh, I think is still a second round type of talent. But all the rest of those guys are all first round talents. Steele is an undrafted right tackle who is playing very good for an undrafted right tackle. Now, could you go out and draft a right tackle later and do something about that? Of course. But I'm not going to give Steele a hell for being a right tackle who, number one, run blocking is ridiculous still today. Ridiculous. Secondly, his outside game is cool. His power game is cool. It's just his inside game is wanting. Why though? Because he tore his ACL. Now that's what you got to deal with. That's still those are his tendencies. Those are his habits. That is what it is. Am I going girl about that? No, you got first round talents everywhere else. Now we know what we need to address in the draft or later on, but I'm not going. No teams really have that level of talent everywhere. Now, here's what I do think though. If for whatever reason you made Guyton play right tackle and you pushed Tyler Smith to left tackle and brought Bass in as a left guard, I think that is a superior offensive line to what Steele is right now. I do think that. I would say that. But I'm not going to shit on Steele still. You know what I mean? But I do think that is our better version. That's our best five right there to me. That's our best five. One All-Pro and Tyler Smith and BB and Booker are good potentials. Yeah, I mean, everybody don't got to be an All-Pro for me. I just think that they got that type of talent. Definitely not with getting Crosby at the expense of GP, making one side stronger to make the other side weaker. Makes sense to me. True. All right. I don't see no more Adekoyes. Gary easily gets 10 sacks plus with Quentin Williams and Clark next to him. Houston will probably get there too. I agree. Houston get 5 without even playing that much. He got like 200 snaps at 5 sacks. For the Cowboys fans' sake, I'm praying Rams edges don't just show up and dominate this line. Okay. You have to be an all-pro to be potential? Sheesh, tough out here. Yeah. How many all-pros are there? It's like they just handing out all-pros, you know what I mean? You get a trophy like it's Oprah. Everybody get a fucking trophy. It don't work like that. Improved D-line combined with better coverage scheme will have Gary looking like an all-pro easy. He just need a whole second more to finish. Yeah, that too. Oh, okay, I got you. He understood you too. Here we go, Okoye. He said, Okoye, clip that. We out. He said, Okoye, so what does the 4 offers we made to trade for him represent? It represents an attempt. And it's still hope. We're hopeful. It's still hope. Have you got him? Have you got him? Did you get him? So if you ask for a girl number 4 times and she's saying maybe, you got hope. You ain't get the digits. You ain't get her number. You can't do nothing with hope. You know what I mean? Put hope in one hand and lotion in the other to see which one fill up first. You know what I'm saying? Pause. I'm hoping that both lines are grimy this year, and they will be. He said Von Miller would go crazy in Dallas. I don't know. I think Von Miller is past his prime, to be honest. But would he do good with this front with the guys that he got next to him? Maybe. But Von Miller was struggling against his one-on-ones last year. He wasn't like getting Von Miller attention. He's not the same Von Miller. But, who knows? Maybe. GP is not more important than Max, who makes more money, edges or wide receivers. Y'all say anything. Man, you lying. You lying again. GP is definitely more important than Max Crosby. Again, I tell you, teams with no receivers, it's very difficult to get deep anywhere with no receivers. I've seen teams with no edges get to the Super Bowl several times, several years, 10 years back. You can't name me premier edges until you get back to Von Miller and with Denver. Outside of that, let's go. Let's do it. You want to do it? Who is the lineal? Karlaftis for the Chiefs. The Chiefs had like what 2 or 3 Super Bowls in the last 10. They've been to 3 at least, I think. But Karlaftis, that's who you got on the outside. Who else? Who outside is killing it? They went and got Frank Clark. Frank Clark ain't do shit. Houston, he wasn't killing it out there. D-Law last year, the Patriots last year. Even when the Rams won, did they win with the edge? Was it the edge? Was it Floyd and those guys on the edge? No, it was Aaron Donald. It was the interior. The interior is what makes the difference, and we got that. That's the thing. Y'all ignore history because of what you want, but historically speaking, in the last 10 years, you can't. Think about it. Jalen Carter, Jordan Brooks, and Jabo, and those guys, right? Those are guys that are in the interior. The interior of your defensive line is where it's at, and that's what we got. That's what we got. That's what we got. I'm not downplaying nobody's play. That's what we got. We got an interior that's crazy. But stop talking like the edges have been getting Super Bowls. They haven't. You're lying. You're lying. He said, forget about the money. I'm worried about impact. All right, cool. We already have ways to generate pressure and create disruption. Losing GP would leave a much bigger hole on his team. Thank you, Judah, for having some sense. Sup, brother Koye? Are people complaining? I mean, I'm trying to hang on until after tomorrow before I get excited. I want to see that too. Us against other opposition, of course, and preseason games. But yeah, people complaining. They filled the chat with the Max Crosby talk again. I'm tired of hearing about Max Crosby. We see them on film not getting to the QB too, Koye. Keep it a beam, bro. You lying. Or are you not watching? You're lying. Who not getting to the quarterback? You do know that the quarterback throws the ball even when you get to him because they can't hit him. But he's been gotten to a lot. I don't know what you're talking about. But now you're going to say, when I show that, you're going to say, and this is where the catch-22 bullshit comes in. When I show the clips of teams, of our guys getting to Dak, which they said that they can't do, they say, it's because of Still's just so trash, man. Damn. Still trash. Whoop Still ass. Poor Still. Like he the only one that got beat. Still ain't the only one getting beat and Dak ain't the only and Gary ain't the only one getting pressures and sacks. Lies. You lying. You're lying. I just showed 20 minutes of film. You want to pull some more? I mean, 20 minutes is a long damn time of film. You was on here, bro. I just showed 20 minutes of film of the whole defensive line killing. Inside and out. And you like, we see them not getting to the quarterback. So what days were these? When did this happen? What days did they not get to the quarterback? Lies. You don't gotta lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't lie to me. What you doing? Why you doing that, man? I trust you, okay? Yeah, I ain't tripping over Mad Max. Yeah, I trust you too, man. But don't lie, man. Tell the truth, man. He said, but I hope they good. How I gotta hope they good? I can see him playing good. He said MAGA Max. Stop that MAGA shit, man. The whole government is fucked. Y'all crazy. Y'all still talking that MAGA versus Democrat bullshit. Where they telling you, hey man, we pumped a bunch of bullshit in all y'all arms and tried to kill everybody, and it's all good. We plead the fifth and everything cool. I ain't MAGA and I ain't Democrat either. I say throw the whole shit away. For real. But stop that MAGA Max just because he white and he vote Republican that make him MAGA. I got some Republican traits and I got some Democrat traits. I don't think nobody's all one way. So I don't get into that bullshit either. Starting that MAGA talk. I don't like that. I really don't. Because y'all act like any of those guys have shown that they got our best interests at heart and they haven't. So y'all fronting on that too. Cowboys fans prove they don't know football by begging for players instead of watching film on the players they have. Well said. All right, let me scroll down because y'all going in. Y'all talking good today, but y'all not talking to me. I'm just talking. All right. Speaker Koye, I was around for the 90s dynasty, and they are trying to catch fire in a bottle like Jimmy Johnson did with Haley. Yep. Now, Haley is a guy, hey, when he goes, championships go. But Haley also had Tony Tolbert opposite him, right? And so, okay, yeah, you bring Mad Max here and you put him opposite Gary. What could happen? We hope that they will stay healthy. We hope that they will play well together. We hope, you know what I mean? But I guess I'm hoping because y'all hope y'all get them. I hope we play well. We all hoping. Somebody hoping until the season start. Everybody hoping. But to say that, y'all got a guarantee is crazy because it's not. It's not even a guarantee that he play. You know what I'm saying? We got Gerald McCoy. He ain't play a snap. Why? because he was hoping with his ass too. As soon as he got here, he was gone. Shout out to Jerry McCoy, cool dude. I did a show with him once. He was cool. Man, you better enjoy the girl with you instead of hoping you could get your homie girl. Everything look good may not be. That's a fact. Look at all them ones, 13s, twos in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. He said these folks think these folks think Okoye the only one that watch film. Um, I'm not the only one. No, I'm not the only one to watch film at all. But I definitely am the only one who's saying what we're seeing on film though, because a lot of people who you saying watch film, I haven't seen them watch the. Tell me this. This is what I did see. I saw a lot of content creators watching film on potential players that we want to bring in. Right. I didn't see a lot of people watching film on the players that we did bring in. I didn't see a lot of that. I didn't see a lot of Rashawn Gary. Go on YouTube right now. Look, just type in the names of your own team and type in the title. Look at the titles of the content. A lot of it's about what we wish we could get. Although it's the off season, you're gonna see a lot of that, and then the draft, you're gonna see a lot of that. But where is the film of the players that we have here? Not a lot of people watching that film. I'm not talking about a quick recap or a quick synopsis where you're trying to put a video together real quick so you go pull some clips and highlights together. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about like in-depth film. Shout out to CFO. Shout out to Voch. Voch does it. Voch can't do it as much anymore either. So I know he very busy, so he can't do it as much either anymore. He ain't really on that like that no more. But shout out to the guys that do watch film. Shout out to Fuzz. He watch film. These guys watch film, but at the same time, like they are doing shows. They have a certain schedule that they on. I don't see a lot of film of our guys. I see clips, quick clips, but I don't see a lot of in-depth film of our guys. I see a lot more of it. I've seen more film of Max Crosby than I've seen of our guys. So I'm not the only one who watched film. Not even close. A lot of people watch film. But when it came to Rashawn Gary, I didn't see a lot of people watching film. I seen a lot of people talking about shit, talking about film that they watched. But why you don't just show me what you watched? That's what I'm at. Show me. I was debating with John Owing, right? He was coming at me something crazy. I don't even understand. I was debating with Terrence Parsons, who was talking about Rashawn Gary crazy, right? And I said, okay, let me show some film of his brother. I showed the film. Everybody jumped up, started talking like I was tripping, right? Where's the film? Then I'm like, well, let's do some film. Everybody get quiet. Why are you getting quiet? Don't you got the film? I got it. If I say it, I got a whole 20 minutes of it. I'll show you right now of everything I say. So no, I'm not the only one who watch film, but I am the only one who be presenting the film when I'm talking. I don't give takes and just off my feelings. I'm not hoping, sticking my thumb in the air and hoping. I don't do that, Dave Irwin, at all. You might not know me, but a lot of people do that. They say what they want to say and then hide behind the fact that they say, I watched the film. All right, well, show us though. Show us what you're watching so I can gain an understanding. I'm not saying show me because I don't believe you. I'm saying show me because I ain't seen what you're seeing. So won't you show me what you're looking at, and then I'll agree with you. I do that all the time. Shout out to Boss. Me and Boss do that. Boss will be like, yo, show me the film. I'll show him. And he'll show me. You know what I'm saying? Show me some film. And then I'll be like, oh, damn, I ain't even know that, bro. And I'll agree with you if you're right. That's that simple. Sadiqa, what's up? You gonna beat me up? What I do? What I done did now? Where? Where you been hollering my name at? Oh, I ain't see you. What you talking about? Where you at? Oh, I gotta get to you. Hold on. I'm sorry. You know I would never do that to you, Sadiqa. You called me when I was on vacation though, but I got you. I see you. I don't want no trouble. See, I don't want no trouble. Don't hurt me. I'm okay. I am okay, and I do appreciate it. Don't beat me up. Don't beat me up. I'm only one man. I got you. I got you. No, I did. I've been build. You see, I'm tan all crazy. I've been building dog and clothes. I've been in the sun. I've been in the sun like it's 1844. You know what I mean? Pre-emancipation. It's pre-emancipation Okoye, working in the sun 12 hours a day. You know what I mean? So I got you though. But I'm gonna shout y'all in the chat as soon as I get to your name. I got you. All right. Sorry about that. Bye bye. All right. And I said we're Team Max, yes, but again, listen to what he's saying, like bruh, like exactly. I want to win, and I think Max helps us get closer to doing that. So does every other player. I don't think that Max don't help us get closer to winning, but I don't think that we're not a winning team without Max. It's a different conversation, bro. I'm not gonna keep saying it. Like this, like I said, this whole chat, bro. You got a big ass star on your hat. This is why we lose. And I'm not just singling you out. I'm talking about all y'all who do this. This is why we lose. Y'all don't like y'all team the way y'all say. You got a big ass star on your hat, right? The only thing you talked about this whole 2 hours I've been on here is Max fucking Crosby, bro. That's the only thing you've been saying to me the whole time. That's why I don't do it. That's why I don't bring him up. Because I'm like, bruh, I'm not about to start pulling for a person who's not even on his team so much so that that's all I can see. That is crazy. That's crazy, bro. The grass ain't greener always, bro. But you've been talking about Max for 2 hours. You keep arguing with me about Max for 2 hours straight. Dave Irwin, 2 hours straight. You know what I mean? Coming at me. Why? Because y'all want Max. He ain't even, I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm a Cowboy staple in the community. And y'all like, man, fuck you. Give me Max Crosby. You know what I'm saying? Max Crosby for president. I heard you. You know what I mean? He said that's what you call how you say real ninja stuff there. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Right, we rocking with the team like we in grandma rocking chair, man. That's a fact. That's how I am. Max Crosby don't play here. Cowboys already tried the edge rusher and it did not work out. The game is won and lost in the middle of the trenches, and the Cowboys are ready. Y'all can't show me no Super Bowls that no edges have won other than like I said, Von Miller was the last one. Y'all keep talking like edges is the ones that push us to Super Bowls. That don't happen. I mean, in Reggie White and Charles Haley day it happened. And that's why y'all still think that way. I remember Greg Lloyd, Kevin Green, you know what I mean? I can go team for team for team. All of them was having them then. You know what I mean? You had Leslie O'Neal. You had a bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? Where if an edge was getting off, you had Lawrence Taylor. When an edge was getting off like that, those are difference makers edges where it's like they win the Super Bowls because of their edges. You got to have a good edge to win Super Bowls. That's why they thought that way, because that was true then. But the last 10 years, that ain't been that. It ain't been that, bro. It ain't been that. You need linebackers. You need your interior. You need good linebacker play, good safety play, and good defensive tackle play. And the Cowboys just so happened in the last 10 years to devalue linebacker, devalue defensive tackle, and devalue safety. You wonder why we wasn't winning. Now we went out and got the best safety in the draft. We got linebackers that I think can play, and we got one of the best interiors in the game. And suddenly we bitching. That's why we lose. That's why we lose. Y'all don't pay attention to what's actually happening. Pay attention to what's happening. History. Don't tell me what you feel. Have defensive tackles been the difference makers in the Super Bowls moving forward, or in the last 10 years or not? I know it because I've been looking. So have it. Chris Jones, Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, huh? Keep going. Christian Balmar for the Patriots. Who else? You can keep going. Who else? I can say Chris Jones a bunch of times. Aaron Donald when they won. Who else? Keep going. Keep going. I don't know. I can't name everybody off the top of my head in the last 10 years. But it's been Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. Interior lines have been winning the Super Bowl. That's what the Cowboys can see. Man, I'm already hearing Gary is being a leader. I saw a video clip where Tyler said Gary is making sure other players getting good reps in camp. And ain't that crazy? Ain't that about something? That ain't worth nothing, Reezy. That ain't worth nothing, Reezy. Let me get down to Sadiqa because you always down here. He said, Clowney and Gary will work. Von Miller with Gary works. We don't need as much as we think. Clowney wouldn't work here because you need to be able to drop back in coverage as an edge here, and I don't think Clowney could do that. See, you reading the comments back late as hell and not even getting the context of the comment. You're probably right, but think about it. Like, I'm 13 minutes behind y'all. Y'all all talking, which I do agree with. You're right. He said Max light skin for real, for real. Hold up. Now we agree, Okoye. One big family. We aren't part of it. Politics. That's a fact. Fuck it all. Hoodie Kush, what's good? Hit me up, Kush. Did you DM me? We supposed to be doing something together. Sadiqa, she said basement party. They see what they want to see because they want what they want. They name chasing and not seeing what real is. That's a fact. She said, I've been speaking to you and calling you 100. Yeah, Sadiqa has. You called me when I was in the mountains, though, and I was like on a water slide with my daughter. He said, no one breaks it down like Okoye, though. Don't be disrespectful. Who said that? Somebody was talking shit. Damn, not me. They ain't get Okoye, did they? He said, like, we don't watch the film. You don't know what you watching if you think that Gary's trash. You must not know what you're looking at. I ain't say it. You said you watch it. Show me. Y'all keep saying y'all watch the film. It's not the same. Everybody, I can watch the same shit you watch. You might see something different than I see. Why? Because you might not understand what you're looking at. Or if we break it down, like I've seen people break down things about Kenneth Murray last year, right? They're like, he fucked up this play. Then I break down the play. I'm like, that was on Osa. What you talking about? Right? But people who claim they know ball still was talking it. I'm like, but then y'all come at me like I'm tripping. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Even now, nobody coming back and saying, I hear more people talking shit like I don't know what I'm talking about, right? But nobody coming back and saying, like, damn, linebackers is running free. Koye said this months ago. I see people making videos and with the titles, similar titles to what I had in March, what I was talking about in March, like building walls and foundation. And they talk about it like it's new news. Like I ain't said this earlier. Not that you can't say the same shit or say something because I said it. I'm not saying that. I do that all the time. But at the end of the day, it's like I laid down the work on everything I'm saying, and I'm only speaking on what I've already said. I've established that already. So I don't have to argue that. If I do, then I mean, that's wild. Our fans are gonna love Gary. I'm glad you showing him love. This brother recording his own teammates to see who is slacking in practice. Who do that? Not many players. Cowboys love all day, every day. Facts. He said it's a lot of film breakdowns online. Not like mine. Not like mine, bro. I know. I mean, y'all gonna make me do it, but I'm dead crack, right? I challenge anybody, especially in the Cowboys film world. Period. I know what I'm good at, right? I know what I do. And I'm not saying that nobody else can break down film, and if they don't agree with what I see on film, something wrong. I did a round table where all of us would have different viewpoints on the film that we was breaking down. But you know what we would do? We would break down the film, we would come together, we would debate it, and then somebody leave and correct, or somebody will stand corrected because the game going to correct you. You know what I'm saying? What I will say though is the time and the effort that I put in the film is very few people that do it the way I do it. You know what I mean? Period. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna say that they can't. I'm gonna say that they don't. There's a difference. They don't because they got other shit to do, and I respect that. People got other shit to do. They don't do what I do. You know what I mean? And I don't do what they do. I don't, and I don't want to because I got shit to do too. You know what I'm saying? But when I break down film, bro, I break it down very, very, very in depth, bro. That's what I'm saying. Everybody don't break down film like me, so stop trying to make it seem like everybody do what you do. They do not. They don't. If they did, you would see it. Where is it? Give me the games. And I'm not talking about raw film where you just showing the play. You not, and then y'all got to figure out what everybody's doing on the play, right? When I break down film, I will run the play, and everybody on that screen, you know what everybody's job is, you know what they're doing, when they're doing it, and why everything's happening. And I will show it from every angle. Nobody doing that. I don't see nobody doing that. Stop lying. Nobody. Stop. Okay, Okoye, brother, I think Overshawn is struggling with an element of the defense. Cap said that they can switch positions depending on the motion. I think he struggles with changes and reads and keys. I do too when it comes to, well, between the ears, if you're saying he struggles with the mental aspect of the game, I think that's where it is too. He's more see ball, hit ball type guy. Like he downhill, he gonna blow some shit up. But let's see if he can get quicker at reading and diagnosing things. You know what I mean? He says easy to pick good or bad plays and highlight them. You think what I do easy, bro? Then do one. I'll tell you what I do it with. I got Filmora, so get Filmora for the edits. Get Snagit to screen grab, right? And just sit in front of your computer and you do it. and show me how easy it is. If it's easy, just do one that look anywhere near mine. Just do one breakdown. Just one. Break down one play. That's it. Just do it since it's easy. You don't make no sense. And a lot of folks don't do this, bro. I break down every play. I do impact breakdowns. I don't do highlights at all. So that'd be disrespectful when y'all do that because it's like you wasting my time. And I'm not going to sit there and keep arguing with you, but you wasting my time because I sit and I break shit down for y'all and then y'all still discredit it like it's easy. Like, bruh, no, it ain't. I know what it is because I do it. I know damn well you can't do it. And I know you ain't going to. But if you did, I would be very surprised. There's some guys that get up and do it. Like Boss, me and Boss had this same argument you having. Why you think you know who Boss is? We had the same argument. I said, well, show me the film. Do it. And he did. He started doing it. And now you got Boss Cowboy, motherfucker. So trust me, some people will do it. But you ain't one of them. You ain't one of them. Stop it. I know this for a fact. If you watch Okoye's videos on D-Line, Gary, BT, Dixon, CP, makes you really comfortable with what we've got. Anything else we add is a bonus. We don't simp for the extra. That's a fact. He said Gary been working with BT for years now. And Gary's been an 8-sack per year player for years now. That's not easy to do. Beyond that, Gary has never worked with BT for a full season. BT's been, so you telling me that a guy goes to a guy for a week in the offseason, that's working with him for years, whereas now BT's in the room for the whole offseason, bro. For the whole season. It's a difference. Much different. Stop arguing with that boy about film, bro. I don't need nobody to take out for me when it comes to film. Either show me some film or get out your feelings. If you ain't got no film or you want to do a film challenge, break down a parameter and I'll bust your ass doing that. But don't argue with nobody about no damn film. I ain't arguing with nobody about no film because you're going to make me seem like I'm trying to like shit on other people. But I know what I do, bro. Like, you want to do it, do it. Let's do it. I'm with it. With anybody, I never turn down no film. Never. I never turn down no smoke. Not ever. But don't nobody ever want to do nothing. Why you think I do shows by myself? Don't nobody be like, Okoye, they bring me on to show what I've broken down. They don't bring me on to be like, let's challenge it. Only Boss has ever done that. Boss do it. But other people don't be like, let me outdo you or let me show you what I see. Nobody try to teach me shit ever. They bring me on to show what I'm teaching. That's it. Why? You know what I'm saying? So if you could do it, do it. Let's do it. I'm with it. I love it. You know what I mean? That just make me better. I love it. So let's go. Let's go. He said, you can't come at this community. We watch the film. Exactly. All right, here we go. Stop arguing with that boy about film, though. I don't want to hear none of that because you took my conversation. He said, man, said, not like mine. They don't. That's the crazy thing. He think I'm like making shit up. Like, bro, it's stamped already. How you think I made it from a basement to, like, I'm talking about a basement by myself to Dallas? Like, you think I did it because my film looked like everybody else's film? Or you think they reach out to me, scouts is reaching out to me, or Cowboys fans and players are reaching out to me like, yo, bro, are following me because I do it like everybody else do it? You think so? We are ranked 15 from last year's team. This isn't the same team. Totally new defense. Facts. I don't want to go back into that argument. Wait, watch Vosh talking about Quentin Williams' contract and see what he's talking about. He's telling you Okoye is right. All right, man. Shout out to Vosh, man. You already know. You don't guys do it. You know what I mean? All right. Let me see. I'm trying to get past the film argument because that's all we talking about. I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, y'all still talking. See, that's why I'm saying I don't like when people come in and do that because you took over the whole conversation talking about Max Crosby. And now here we are. This is a prime example, right? You are a Cowboy fan with a now I'm gonna grind you up because this is what I don't like about you, right? And we will. I'm gonna give you a link because I'm gonna get you. You know what I mean? I want you to come on and bring some film, and you can point to the film. I'll do the film for you. You can use my hands and my skills to point at whatever film you want, and I'll bring it up. But here's the issue I got with you, right? And this is why I know you and your feelings, and this is corny. I'm a Cowboy fan. You a Cowboy fan. You want a player who's not a Cowboy so bad that it went from ripping Gary. Y'all first start ripping Gary. Then it's like, oh, no. Well, we just want what's best for the team, which is a player that's not on the team, right? And then he's like, oh, no, y'all hoping. Then I'm like, well, so are you. Then when we get past the hope argument, you go to another. You just keep moving the goalposts. So now it's I'm just, a jag. I'm just a guy doing film, and I don't know what I'm doing. So we gonna tear down another Cowboy fan because you can't get what you want. That's my point. Y'all act like hoes, man. When it comes to shit like that, that's hoe shit. People don't act like this. No disrespect to the hoes out there, because I think y'all upstanding people, man. Hoes need love too, but y'all act like hoes. I swear to God, that's crazy work, bro. It's crazy work. You know what I mean? He said, Rizzy, I'm gonna have to get my setup right and do that for sure. I pull a lot of buzz with my thoughts. Oh no. You don't gotta do it. I told you, my hands and your mind. You don't gotta I don't want to wait 2 years for you to figure out how to cut up film and get in front of a camera. You can get on and you could tell me what you want me to pull up, and then what you want to show me. I don't even know why we talking about film, because what are we even trying to prove with the film? You brought up film for something that I'm not even discussing. But if you want me to break down something, just tell me what you want me to break down, or what game and what time of the game. Just like I did with Terrence Parsons, we can come on and get do it. You know what I mean? Let's do that. My hands, your mind. You know what I mean? And if we could do that. I didn't even rip you, bro, so I'm going to give you a clean pass on the whole comment. That wasn't for you. Oh, all right. My bad. I thought you was talking shit to me. So if I called you hoe for that, all right, cool. But, all right, I thought you was talking shit to me. I'm like, why are we talking shit about me like I came at you, bro? I'm not even coming at you. I'm just saying I don't agree with your shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, 864. He said, an avid Cowboys fan. I see him in multiple lives bed every day. He does his homework. I know because I'm there. Oh, yo, Dave, you gotta relax, bro. You gotta relax, Cochran. Come on, man. You gotta relax, Dave. Dave, mad. You gotta relax, bro. You gotta relax. You gotta really relax, man. You gotta chill. Dave about to punch somebody. He said, I love the engagement, fan. Keep it up. If you're not a member, come on in and join the family. Definitely. We definitely gonna have good conversations here. That's how mature I am. I'm going to completely ignore the whole thing because I know you misunderstanding my comments. Appreciate you. And if I did misunderstand you, I'm a man. Just like if you come on and you show me some film, like I said, I'm dead serious. My hands, your mind. But if you come on and you show me something that is contradicting something that I already thought or think, or you teach me something, I'm gonna tell you. You know, I learned something from you. My bad. My apologize. I ain't got a problem apologizing if I did something wrong, bro. I ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Want a whole cake? Everyone everybody need to eat. Hoes need love too. Hollywood Shuffle. He said again, not aimed at you, Quay. Oh, all right. I'm about to say, damn, Dave, you gotta chill, man. He said, I'm watching him on these lives. He said, I know what Cat Williams said. He said, I know that for 2 years he wouldn't do something like that. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You gotta chill. Y'all dudes funny, man. I do bang with y'all though. Like I said, I'm about to jump on. I ain't gonna lie. Respect all day to you too, bro. And like when I say whole shit, that's really just how I talk for real. For real. I don't talk articulate all day. I just do that on it for the cameras. I talk like myself. I'm a hood nerd, so sometimes I say shit like that, and it's not me trying to really, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to get you or rip you on no super disrespectful shit. Like I would say that if you was here and I wouldn't fight you for it because I'm not even mad at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking my shit. You gotta pop your shit when somebody tell you you ain't who you are, nigga. You know what I mean? I know who I am. All right. Okoye, help him out. He want to get started in podcast. In podcasting, you already know. Whole shit aside, you know what I mean. If you DM me, I'm gonna help anybody as long as you serious. You know what I mean. So if you DM me and you holler at me, people not gonna say, they're not gonna tell you. They won't tell you because they want to. Everybody want to be self made, and I respect it. I learn. I stood on somebody's shoulders too. I ain't self made either. You know, I'm self made enough, but when I say self made, I mean somebody definitely taught me some things. So I ain't gonna problem teaching nobody nothing. I don't care if we disagree or not. I'm a man. You know what I mean, we ain't never gonna agree with everything because you ain't me and I ain't you. So if you need me, DM me and I'll give you my information just like I've done to everybody else that I've helped, and we can go from there. All right. Love the show as always, Okoye. We can disagree. It's all love. Always. You already know that, Dave. I talk my shit, but please don't take me personal and get your feelings hurt because I'm really not on that. You know what I'm saying? It's ladies in here that I'm rougher with. Like me and Sadiqa go back and forth, and I love her to death. You know what I mean? When I come on, you will see I'm the same way. That's why I get it 100%. That's a bet. That's a bet. That's a bet. They stepping into darkness. What's up, darkness? Somebody's gonna break their nut. You know, step up in here, man, unless you're ready. Facts, because I don't agree with everything you say. You never will. You know, never will. Never, you ain't supposed to. If you did, you'd be my son. You ain't my son. You know what I'm saying? My sons don't even agree with everything I say. I was just arguing with my son last night about that. I said, bro, you don't listen enough, bro. Your pop is the only one that's gonna try to make sure you winning in this world. And he be questioning me like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, bruh, ain't you winning? You know what I mean, ain't you in a sport that I put you on? You're like, yeah. I said, everything I put you on, even with the chicks, I tell him like, yo, she like you. You're like, no, she don't, dad. 2 months later, he be like, oh yeah, you was right. It took you 2 months to get to her though, because you wasn't listening. You wasn't, if she brought you to the room and she kept you in the house after the party, she wanted you to hit go. You talk about, so that's just my friend. I said, yeah. Oh, all right. He don't be thinking, man. He don't be thinking. These young boys gotta get it together. YNs don't know how to. They don't got cold call experience because they be on the internet too much. Are you concerned about interior pass rush other than Quinnen? Is pretty slim. Those are lies. The Sport 78. What are you talking about, bro? That's disrespectful. We just sit here. First off, Kenny Clark. Why y'all act like Kenny Clark is just like trash truck juice? Y'all crazy. Kenny Clark is a beast. Why don't y'all listen to the other players that tell you? Even Quentin Williams look up to Kenny Clark. Y'all talk like he ain't there. Bullard, I did a whole film breakdown on Bullard. This is my point when people say they talk about film. This is my point, 864. People say they watch film, right? But they come and say shit like this. Where's it slim? You got Ogbo, who's a starter everywhere else he's been. Ogbo does not start here. He is an interior one tech or defensive end in 3-4, either or, but very good. Bullard, very good. Then you got Kenny Clark, good, like top talent. The coach of our team, who we like, says that he's the best at 1.5 gap in the league. But what does he know? That's just Christian Parker. He only won a Super Bowl. He don't know shit. And then we got Quentin Williams. So no, we're not like, and that's not. I'm not trying to disrespect your question. I'm joshing, fucking with you. But still, don't make no sense though. We definitely got it. I'm not concerned. This page, all 22 Cowboys got some nice insight on training camp. Downs looking like a monster in camp. Hope our run D is up to par. Shout out to all 22 Cowboys. Now that is a page where I take highlights from all 22 because all 22 definitely does the film. He does great work. I do say that, and we talk a lot. He's actually giving me content that I build off of. So the ones who know, we don't be disagreeing about much though, because we see it the same because he watches the film for real. You know what I'm saying? But a shout out to all 22. He on IG. You can get him on Twitter, I think, as well. I shared a couple of his videos on Twitter as well. But all 22 Cowboys, he's pretty damn good. I like him a lot. I don't hate on nobody, bro, unless you that type of person, or I don't like you as a person. It ain't because of what you can do. I'm impressed by all 22 for sure. Questions. Do you believe the DBs are benefiting from the interior D-line pressure, or is the scheme the DBs are playing? It's both. I mean, you can't. I don't give a fuck who you are as a defensive back. If you run a 7-on-7 drills and your quarterback out all day, somebody getting open eventually, bro. You know what I mean? So the DBs are definitely benefiting from the interior line, but the interior line is benefiting from the fact that the DBs are going to buy them time as well. So one hand washes the other, bro. That's just the way it go. That's the way it go. Man, it's good to have a healthy debate. Glad to see the energy is straight. The energy is definitely straight. We ain't going that. You know what I mean? We ain't doing that. Reezy, it was never disrespect for real. 100. It's just difference of opinion. I'm a Cowboys fan. Always Emmett. The reason I'm here. Yeah, me and Emmett share a birthday. That's the reason I'm here too. Emmett for sure. But yeah, like I said, I'm not crying for nobody that ain't bleeding blue. Like, and that might never play. We've done this every year. We cry for a player who don't ever suit up here, and then we act like the year is gonna hinge on then we come at Jerry and be like, "You ain't do enough," instead of appreciating the fact that this whole defense has been revamped in one season. Nobody rebuilds their team this fast. Like, we revamped this whole team. I'm actually impressed with the front office for a change, for sure. I do appreciate the early signing and not sitting on their hands week one. Let's see if we get our boy Quinnen some help. Let's see. He said, no, Bullard and Tito are run stopping DTs. Kenny is good, but there's no one behind him to prove a solid rush. Have you been watching Bullard and Otito? So Bullard and Otito, the difference is, yes, they're run stopping guys. They're not pass rushers, but they're gap collapsers, meaning they're still, like, if you one-on-one with those guys, they're going to just take their man and put him in your lap. So it's not a pass rush. They're not three techs by any means. So I do agree, you right there, the sport. But the fact that everybody on this line requires a double team, one or both of those guys are going to have one on ones a lot, right? And when they do, you're not blocking those guys one on one. They will put them in your lap for sure. For sure. I ain't see Law in here. They said Law in here. Where Law at? I ain't see. Oh, Law Dog. Y'all talking to? Hashtag Max Crosby and MC Championship bound. Wake up, Jerry. I hear you. I ain't arguing that. Unc Alert. What's up, Unc? What's up? Appreciate you. I saw Emmett and Jit Reezy and been a Cowboys fan ever since. That's what, as a Jit or as a kid. I don't speak y'all. Y'all say Jit as a, we say youngin or young buck or as a buck. Y'all say Jit. I do hear that sometimes online, but I never said it. Scheme is going to get us sacks too. Facts. All right, listen, I'm about to go over and highlight and look at this deal from Quinnen in a second, and then we're going to start spreading around. I've been on here for almost 3 hours, though. I appreciate the love. And he said exactly the scheme and who the players are will provide the pass rush. Facts. I take Sweat, Crosby, Von Miller, Brooks. I ain't picky. Brooks is who I want out of that whole crew. Von Miller I would take, but I would take him because it'll be like having another BT but on the field and in the locker room. He's another pass rush summit type guy like Gary is. So having two of those guys that's teaching those guys up, I think I like that too. Sweat, I don't like Sweat knee at all. So no. You gotta be able to stop the run. Sweat can't. He is a pass rusher. You can bring him if you could say you was gonna bring Sweat in as a situational pass rusher or designated pass rusher, cool. But the problem is his check requires that he's on the field way more than that. And if you take him on the field and run situations, he's a liability. You know what I mean? I wouldn't take Sweat. Y'all tripping with Sweat. I don't know how y'all look. Y'all watch Sweat run. That's why I know y'all ain't watching no film. Because you said that. Y'all be complaining about us not being good versus the run, but you begging for a guy who's no longer good versus the run. Sweat last year sucked versus the run. He set his edges every once in the blue, but that knee, he could not run to the ball. His knee is scary bad. He only could use it in pass rush situations. That's only because the offensive line is backing up instead of running forward. But as soon as they put a body on him versus the run, he couldn't do nothing. So it's like, nah, I don't like Sweat versus the run at all. At all. I didn't know Sweat sucks versus the run. I don't know him. Good call. Oh no, he does. He sucks versus the run. But Crosby is a different ballgame. Yeah. We don't watch film. We are just fans. I'm not talking about you, bro. You just got here. I'm talking about the guys who argue with me about the film. I'm not talking about you, bro. No disrespect to you. And if you'll hear me talk about your comment, I'm engaging with everybody I see. That doesn't mean what I'm saying is directed at you directly, unless I'm coming at. I'll tell you when I am. But for the most part, certain things have been said prior to you jumping on the stream, so you might not understand what I'm referencing. But 864 know what I'm talking about. We've been having a whole film conversation this whole time, brother. That's all. Ain't nothing personal. Darkness. He said, we got love for Cowboys fans, even the slow ones. Come and get your knowledge up. I was a slow one my damn self, so you know what I mean. I got my knowledge up only from watching the film. I know Sweat not great versus the run. I know you know, so why you want him here? We don't want him here. I don't want nobody where they just like he get on the field, they just gonna run at him. You know what I mean? What we want that for? And if you're gonna pay him $20 million a year, Gary gets $16 million a year, bro, to stop the run and be a good pass rusher. You're gonna pay Sweat $20 million a year because that's what his contract is. You have to trade for him. $20 million a year. They don't even want that contract. You would be doing Arizona a favor. But you're going to pay him $20 million a year to just pass rush? No. To get what, 4 more sacks than Gary's averaging? And they averaged, the crazy thing is, he did 12 last year, Sweat. But he averages 8 a season over his career. Guess who else does? Gary. They both average 8 sacks a season. But one is going to stop the run. The other one is not. That don't make, and the other one costs more. For what? I don't even understand. Okoye, do you believe since we got Quinnen, they trade for a backer now? I mean, they probably would have did that anyway. I think they're going to want a backer regardless. So I think that's the big move that they're talking about. They're going to go after a linebacker soon. Got a super chat. I try to show love to all the content guys. I love that you don't be begging for every free agent or trade prospect. Too many in the community want shiny objects over proper team building. Jamal, you are definitely correct. Nobody ever said that adding a new toy is a problem, but having FOMO, fear of missing out, to the point where you miss out on what you actually do have, is a problem. I think that's our problem, and that's the Max Crosby conversation. If somebody asks me, without the Max Crosby noise that we've had, would I want Max Crosby to be in a Cowboy uniform? The answer would be yes, about 100 times out of 100. When you talk down on what we have here as a ploy to get Max Crosby, you always gonna get a pushback from me, because I ain't never, like I said, I ain't never chasing it like that. I'm not thirsty for it. I'm gonna watch this on playback. But what's good, Okoye? Good to see you on live. What's up, Flames? Appreciate you. Hit me up. I need that pass rush on third down, though. Yeah, we got that. But listen, Houston, I'm not saying he sweat, but Houston doesn't get the same amount of snaps. If Houston got the same amount of snaps last year that Sweat got, Houston would have been a double-digit sack guy. Houston had 5 sacks, and he don't even really play. Get what I'm saying? Houston is your third down pass rush specialist type guy who can't stop the run. We already got one of those. We don't need another guy who can't stop the run, and we got him for cheap. We don't need another guy who can't stop the run. You know what I mean? If you going now, who y'all haven't mentioned, and this is called why they ignore this. It's one guy y'all ignored. And I don't know. Maybe somebody picked him up. Maybe I'm tripping. But Cam Jordan, that's a guy that I would take opposite Gary right now. Bosa, if he's still out there, if he's healthy, that's a guy that I would take over Von Miller even. I would take Cam Jordan over all of them, because Cam Jordan, now he's a double-digit sack machine who can stop the run. So him and Gary would have and he's 280 pounds, just like Gary. So that would be a little crazy to me. So I would take that for sure. I'll take that. And it's not going to cost me George Pickens to get him, or first round pick to get Cam Jordan. Why we don't go do that if it was about that? You know what I'm saying? Honest question. Would you rather have it and not need it, or need it and not have it? I agree. Sweat Price is dumb for only being a third down guy 100. See what I'm saying? At least you got some, you do got good, you reasonable, you logical. You already know that answer. I would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. But we don't need a guy who's just a pass rusher, because we got pass rush already. I think we got it. You think we don't, but you think we don't based off of stats. I think we do based off of what these guys do in the scheme that came in here. It's a lot of things going on, bro. And I'm not the only, like I said, I'm not the only one who watched film. I'm the only one who brought up Marcus Dixon, though. I am that. Ain't nobody bring him up until I brought him up. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's watching, hey, what have these position coaches done with nobody sit there and watch what BT Jordan's work looked like elsewhere until I did it. This is what I'm talking about when I say watch film. I'm not saying they don't watch film. They just don't watch what I watch. They're not doing, and they're not talking about what I'm talking about until I say it. Then I say it, then everybody like, oh, it's like old news. It's not old news. Why y'all ain't bringing it up? You know what I'm saying? I broke down CP too. I broke down what his coverages look like. So it's like, when you think about those things and then you look at the scheme, the way it's matching up, we got something going here, bro. We got something going. But like I said, we got more time to debate that, way more time. But I appreciate you being such a good sport. Facts of Koye, Houston just need more opportunities. He only had 304 snaps last season, and those not even those are, some of those is play action, some of those is tunnel screens, some of those are run plays. Get what I'm saying? So how many of them were passing plays? So he had less pass snaps than most pass rushers, and he had 5 sacks. Yeah. If you just brought him in on passing downs, and he would have been even crazier. Would have been even crazier. But he wasn't. He was like, he was optional. We had high pressures last season with a bum secondary. Now the D-line and secondary are much improved. Sacks will come with it. Facts. I think we don't, based off of what I've been seeing. Okay, well, we're gonna talk. But they could definitely prove me wrong. I think Gary is fine, but opposite that, I don't know. Agreed. But here you go, right? Opposite that, and this is what I'm gonna ask you, and then we're gonna end this, Joe. All right. And Ezzy is little, you're not lying. They picked Ezzy up and just, yoked him around. And so is Houston. But here we go. So is Parsons. Parsons little too. You act like they don't do that to Parsons. They be taking him and moving him around too after he get tired. But check it. Do you think that Houston, Malachi, and Ezzy, because those three seem like the guys that's going to be out there rotating for passing situations opposite Gary. Let's say you say Max Crosby is going to give you 10 sacks to 14 sacks. That's where he would be. Do you think those three rotating wouldn't give you 10 to 14 sacks combined? Do you think that those three can give you 10 to 14 sacks? I'm talking about Houston already give you 5. Ezzy, it was good for what, 2 or 3 last year. And then you got Malachi Lawrence, who I think is probably good for like 4 on the hustle. You know what I mean? Maybe 4 or 5 on the hustle. So do you think that those three are going to give you your 10 to 14 sacks opposite Gary? Because that's what you would want in Max Crosby. And if you think that those three can do it, they already here. So can they do that or not? And then do they have a fall off versus the run? Do they? No. Max Crosby doesn't either. But if they're not going to fall off versus the run, and they're going to give you that room opposite Gary's going to give you 10 to 14 sacks, why do we need to go pay for it then? If we're going to get it, we're going to get the same production anyway. Now, you're not going to get the same game planning. So I'm answering my own question for you. You're not going to get the same game planning because if Max Crosby out there, you're going to definitely play the game differently. You're definitely not going to run over there, you know what I'm saying? So I think that room, sack production wise, though, is already going to give you the same production, Max or not. If Max is there and Gary's there, it makes it dominant and there's less of a rotation. But with the rotation, I think those other three guys going to give you what Max Crosby was going to give you anyway, in my opinion. I do. 3. But it does take 3 to replace 1 when it comes to Max Crosby. That's just respect to Max Crosby. That's not me trying to play your, come at your stance. But I think the rotation and those guys, and then Maris as well is going to probably play. I think Maris might make this team. Maybe I hope he makes the team. But I think that room opposite Gary is still going to give you the 10 to 15 sacks that you thought you were going to get out of Max Crosby by himself. Anyway, I don't know. Houston, Malachi, and Ezzy would not give you 10 to 15 sacks. You don't think so? Oh, now that's something we should watch. Let's watch that this season. Where those three combined for more sacks than Max Crosby by himself. And then we can argue. You know what I'm saying? If I'm wrong on that, I will come back and tell you. He said Eggsy will get 10 sacks for sure. I think Eggsy the weakest one in that room. I think he weakened Malachi and definitely is not the pass rusher that Houston. Houston's the best pass rusher out of all those guys other than Gary. You know what I mean? I like Houston a lot when it comes to pass rush. He just can't stop the run. He kind of little. But he definitely could do everything else. But no, Ezzy, something up with Ezzy. I don't know what's up with him. He good with his feet, good with stunts, but pass rushing in practice I'm watching, he's just like, I don't know. He has everything. He got the tools. He got good hand fight, good hand placement. He's just not using it. He's running right into guys using speed. He's not setting it up right. That's all. In my opinion, it comes down to how fast they can win and apply pressure. Facts. What about Reddick, Okoye? Reddick on the free agency? Damn, I would take Reddick too. I don't know what Reddick doing right now, but I like Reddick too. Reddick is now Reddick would be nasty opposite Gary too. I like Reddick a lot. LOL, that's easy. 10 to 15 sacks, def. But with the way the back end is playing, about to be playing, I mean, yeah. Easy 10 sacks. I need weed. I need the weed you smoke. Yeah, he said easy as he gonna get 10 sacks. I don't think he getting 10 sacks. I had it. But if he do, hey, that'd be dope. I mean, he said I want the strand. I need that strand too. That's a fact. If he do, that'd be crazy. Thanks for the likes, peeps. We keep it entertaining up in here for sure. Not versus Max 10 sacks to the 14 sack. Yeah, that's a fact. All right, man. I've been saying I'm going for about an hour. Y'all still kept me going because y'all was on here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you guys share it. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. I had fun on here. And you was a good sport, 864. But please stop coming in here and dominating my chat because you make the whole conversation about what you want to talk about. And that's my problem. I'm a Cowboy fan. I don't want to spend my 3 hours talking about Max Crosby. He ain't a Cowboy. I don't want to talk about him for 3 hours, bro. That's my point. That's why I'm arguing with you so crazy. And I keep coming back at you. Because you say something, then the whole chat, all I see in the chat is Max, 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 Max. I'm like, okay, I don't mind getting Max either. I like Max. But why are we talking like Max need to be here? I didn't make this video to talk about Max for 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about him for 3 hours. That's just, you don't think that's reasonable? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do it because he's not a Cowboy. But when you come in, you do got a strong presence. So you probably do got a podcast future because you stand on what you believe in. But I will say, I don't want to talk about that man for 3 hours. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Man, no, you zeroed in on the argument with somebody in the chat. It was you. I'll argue with your ass. What you talking about? all day. But I fucks with you though. He good sport for sure. I'm looking at the sport track and Reddick, Bosa, Nichols are up. That'd be good if Reddick is there. I like Bosa, Reddick. I don't know if is Cam Jordan still there. I'm gonna find out. I'm about to check. But I'm gonna check out this Quentin Williams deal, and I'm gonna go get me something to eat and fall back. And I gotta go get my dog out of this gap between the gate that she jumped into. I think I'm about to get rid of all these dogs, man. I'm about to keep one. I've been putting in a lot of work, and they stressful as shit. This dog crazy as fuck. All right, talk to y'all soon.